The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
I don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody. He's a macho. Savage, you're listening to Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it, the macho.
Wrestling fans throughout Radio Land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock, you hear guys like myself, the Ugandan Giant Kamala. And that's my story.
Using mere words to describe the Trash Talking Radio Show from 7 to whenever we get done is like using a screwdriver. Peace. This is Lunella Sean, the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. With the Trash 7 to 10. Tuesday nights, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Alright, hey, this is the Animal. One half of the world famous take in the road warriors. What you do? If you know it's good for you, listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Hulk Hogan. Hulk, what do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio?
Well, I gotta say that I just bought Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch, because what you gonna do when Hulk Hogan's brand new Trash Talking Radio runs wild on you?
It is times like these that the world needs heroes and entertainment, and with that I give you the greatest live talk show known to mankind. With inflation being at its highest points, we need someone to show us the ways of good taking on evil, and someone who has the heart of Snow White and the strength of Thor. He, along with his sidekicks Trash's maid, also known as Trish, Trash's babe, known as Ashley, and Trash's roadie known as Cirillo. They will fight crime and make the world right once again. Please welcome me in a round of applause for the vital idol class C Mike Trash. You may all be seated. Thank you.
Trash Talking Radio Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week, and first thing we got to do is roll call, because we never know who's here and who isn't here. And okay, let's try me first. Well, I already know I'm here. Oh, wait a minute, I can't hear you. I got to turn everybody else on. Okay, Trish.
Here.
All right. We got Trish. Well, I know this one. This one hasn't been here for a while, so I'm gonna guess Ashley.
Here.
What?
I'm back from my...
Oh, yeah, I guess she is.
She is here. Wow. That's
Picture, do you feel that? Is it real? Am I real?
It's amazing. I got to do something here. Got to do that. There we go. So, and let's see. Cirillo.
Here.
All right. We're all here. Yeah. And playing the part of Cirillo is my buddy Doug from college. And he's back in town today. And
that
welcome back.
Sounded like him.
Oh, yeah, really. Welcome back.
I hope to do him justice tonight.
Oh, believe me, that's not a stretch there. Trust me. I hope he's not here. Hope he's not in the chat room.
He should be driving.
Good. Then we'll be safe.
Until he shows up.
He's the guy that I do a sound check with, and he goes, here. And then when we start talking, it goes, and I was, oh, please, one volume, please. So when I do a sound check, I said, pretend you're actually answering the questions, and then we can get at least a good sound check out of it. And we are back on the mix tonight, too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called user error. I found out it wasn't the mix that was the problem. It was
the
me.
operator.
So, anyway, we're going to be, well, we got a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to jump right into the show, and then we'll talk as we get through the show. We'll talk about, I got a bunch of things I want to talk about, but I want to get through the early stuff. I want to get through that.
The early stuff early?
Early, yes. I want to get the early stuff done early. I don't have a picture of the week, though. Hold on.
Why would you do something like that?
Hold on. I got to do the picture of the week. I didn't do one. That was last week's. We can talk about that, though, because I want to talk about that. So I'm going to leave that up. I should have done this before the show. You know, if my assistant would do this stuff, I wouldn't have to do it. And I shouldn't have to do the pictures, and I don't know what picture to use this time.
She came running.
There she is. She's always around. Let's see. What picture do I want to use? Let's see.
I'm starting on Christmas, so I have the first one for the Christmas season.
I think we'll just do it like this. We'll just put a logo up there. That'll be it. That way I can do it. I did have one in mind I wanted to use, but I don't know where it's at. It's going to take me a while to find it. Hey, Tamara, how you doing? Hey, Jesse Joe. Is my sister here?
Yes, she's here.
Okay.
Yep, she's there. Amy's
I have an
too.
APB out for her because, you know. And you, stop looking at me. All right. We're going to start this off. I shouldn't start this off early because that means you're going to want one every couple hours or every couple minutes. All right. Now. All right. We'll start with the RIPs first. We have one that we're going to talk about. Oh, you're saying, uh-oh, who died? I'm surprised that your generation didn't know this.
Oh, the Green Power Ranger? Yeah, that's the one I was hoping you would do.
Yes, I am. I'm doing the Green Power.
I was so sad to find this out, too.
I was very indifferent. So,
not as more so as I was a couple weeks ago, but...
Jason David Frank. Did you... I
don't even know who a Power Ranger is.
I know of the Power Rangers because I dated Jamie at that time, and her son was old enough to watch the Power Rangers. That's all I know about him. Now I know he's the green guy. I didn't know that either.
He eventually turned into the white Power Ranger.
Oh, racist. All right. Well, all I know is that says Frank was cast in the role of Tommy Oliver, the Green Ranger. The role was for 14 episodes. Due to the popularity of the character, he is brought back as the White Power Ranger. So okay, why did it matter what color he was?
Because I think each color had a different ability, and then all of them together is like one.
Was there a white one before?
I don't think so.
In the original, no.
What happened to the green guy? Did someone else get cast as it? After
no, he turned into the White Power Ranger.
But you can't just turn into a white guy.
Well, because the White Power Ranger became more powerful than the others.
Well, I guess you had to be there. Oh, I guess I ought to probably put
Tamara liked the pink one. I was the pink one for Halloween, and my sister was the white one at one point. Him.
Oh, I got to put it up in the screen. I guess I didn't do that, huh? Oh, you know what? We missed the whole... I think we missed Did we miss the whole thing? We did. We missed the whole intro. I kept it on that screen. Well, you guys saw the intro before.
Operator error.
You know, it's... You know, the thing is... I wanted to give you a different thing. All right, so we'll do this. There we go. There we go. Okay. I could play the intro again if you want. Just save
You
us...
really miss it that much?
Well, I mean... my fans. Anyway, I wondered why he wasn't up there when I looked down on the screen. So he was green and turned white.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, at least he wasn't black.
Well, isn't that what happens, like with hair? You turn white as you get older?
Well, he was young. He was
49.
Yeah, he was young.
as I was reading on the one article, he died of suicide.
Suicide.
Oh, well, that explains it. Yeah, that suicide will get you every time. Well, not every time, but a lot of times. What's going on? I'm just missing something. I see a whoopee, and I...
Whoopsie.
Nah, it's okay. Missing something. I must have missed something.
Yeah, about playing the intro over again.
Oh, okay. Okay. Of all people to not be supportive of my intro.
Hey, at least you know she's alive. She's been found.
That's good. I was thinking she was taken. I thought Liam Neeson was going to have to get involved. Because, yeah. All right. Anyway, he did some other things too, I guess. I don't really care. Bat in the Sun, Superpower Beatdown. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. He appeared in Superpower Beatdown as the White Rangers on Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Okay. Well, that's a pretty cool thing. And New Era Legend of the White Dragon, the film Legend of the White Dragon, launched on Kickstarter in 2020. Initially, it was going to be a miniseries or a fan film. You know, I ought to do a Kickstarter, see if I can get people to give money for Vital Idol.
There you go.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know anybody. I mean, no one's going to give me money, especially if they know me. Mixed martial arts. He was into mixed martial arts. 2009, signing Sucker Punch Entertainment, a sports marketing and management company specializing in mixed martial arts. He made his much-anticipated MMA debut in United States Amateur Combat Association, and first event, Lone Star Beatdown. So, anyway, so he killed himself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He's not indestructible.
But he wasn't on our list either.
No, he was not. So I guess that's why I don't care.
There is somebody else that died.
Who?
James Winburn.
Who's that?
Stuntman from Michael Myers and Halloween has died. Got that?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the list either.
He wasn't on the list.
No. He was 85.
Oh, no. He died so young.
It says that he died of undisclosed illnesses.
Okay.
They're basically saying old age.
Yeah, maybe. All right. This week, I didn't see any movies, so none to add to the list. I was so busy because I had a couple things going that were pretty big. Let's see who topped the box office. All right. Looks like Black Panther. Not a big surprise there. Black Panther is now at $309 million gross. That's pretty good. Yeah, I expect that to stay for a little while.
Where's Maverick on that?
Maverick there. It's not the week. This is by week. By year, Maverick is at the very top.
Okay.
Because that did over $1 billion. So.
It's coming to Paramount.
That was a really, really good movie. Did you see it?
No, I'm waiting for it to come to Paramount.
Oh, it was really good. I loved that movie, and it was better than I thought it was going to be because I thought, a sequel, it's going to be horrible. It wasn't. It was good. It was really good. It was probably one of my favorite movies this year. So, Black Panther was pretty good. It was. Did you see it yet? You did not see it. Did you see it?
No. But I think if it's the one I'm thinking of, I know somebody wants to watch it.
Okay. Well, that doesn't really help me because I'm the only one in the room that saw it.
Yes.
That's the question.
I know somebody who wants to see it at least.
Well, it's definitely worth seeing. That was a good movie, especially the way they.
Okay.
I don't know if you know the story, but the original Black Panther died of colon cancer after the movie was made, and then they had a part 2, and they had to rewrite the whole thing because he's dead. So it was actually well done. It was very well done. I approve of what they did.
Maybe I'll have to give in and go on a date to the movies and take him to see it.
I can go myself.
I didn't say
York.
go yourself.
Go to the York. York has the comfy
Well,
chairs.
I can. I mean,
That's the way.
you're my
That's,
emotional support animal.
you and your
No,
emotional support.
but I'm saying somebody's been asking me to go out on a date, and I've been saying yes, but we haven't really decided what we want to do. Maybe we should go to the movies
There you
and
go.
let them watch this movie.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So, who's your football team?
Eagles.
Yeah.
That's yours, right?
Yep.
And yours is
The Eagles.
No.
Steelers, wasn't it?
No.
And of course, I have Tom Brady. So wherever he is, that's. But anyway, let's take a quick look and see where everybody is.
Let's not say we did.
Let's see. I think the Bucks are the number one in their area. Yep, first in the NFC South. Cowboys, where are they?
Yeah.
Second in the NFC East.
Yeah, that was rough this weekend because it was either watching the Cowboys.
Like I said, let's not go there.
Steelers are fourth in the AFC East. AFC North. That's about the only clapping they're going to get. And let's look at the Eagles. Eagles are first in the NFC East.
I wasn't sure. I
They
thought
have the best record in football.
right now, but
That could change.
they're gonna choke. They have a history of choking.
They choked last week.
They have a history of choking, and
I was about ready to turn it off because I'm like, oh no, it's getting to the end of the game, and something told me no, don't do it,
So-
and they pulled it out by one.
so Eagles are first.
Yeah, what scares me is after what the Cowboys did to Minnesota.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So you're number one in the NFC East. We're just going to skip over the Steelers because
Yeah,
they're not
sure.
even worth mentioning. Cowboys, they're number two. I'm glad he's not here. I'd be spending time harassing him.
Although I
So,
gotta say,
so two of our teams are number one
he
in their
likes
areas.
the Steelers and the Packers.
Who? Oh.
Thank you.
So we have two number ones here.
Where are the Packers at?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I have the Packers in the in my automatic list.
Well, why not?
Why would I? None of us had Packers.
That could be another team.
Amy Sue did.
Yeah, Amy Sue
The
has
Packers always
Yeah, but-
followed by the Lions.
and so does Rich. Rich likes the Packers.
Are they on the show?
Amy Sue is.
Do they get a
Yeah,
Do they get a
Amy Sue.
paycheck from me?
Amy
about-
Sue does.
How about the Cincinnati Bengals? I'm from Cincinnati. I'm living in Cincinnati now.
Yeah.
Wow.
See.
Are they number one in their area?
They are number 2.
Okay, that's not number one, is it?
That's first behind number one.
Number two is the first loser.
Okay.
I don't know.
You realize?
My team that I hate the most is the second loser.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
You realize I don't even care. You realize I don't have a dog
You're
in
not
this
a
fight.
football- I knew
I'm
you
not a
was.
football. I'm a Tom Brady fan. That's it. Because I consider him my hero because they were pushing me out of my job, and he was being pushed out of his job, and he made a comeback. I not so much, but he did. I didn't make my comeback yet.
Yet.
I don't know if I like him because he says he's about the Bengals. That's who the Steelers
Do you
beat
realize-
the Steelers last week.
Do you realize I've known him longer, 10 years
Then I've been alive,
longer
probably.
than you've been alive. More than that, probably. So,
Yes, but the Bengals beat the Steelers last week. That's just why I'm saying it.
everybody
And it
beats
was
the
fun
Steelers.
to watch.
Everybody beats the Steelers.
I
That's
know.
just, it's what you do. If you're in Pittsburgh, that's what you do.
And that's where they played. So to lose in their home. Oh.
Oh, I'm ready for December 11th.
It's December
the
11th.
Steelers play the Ravens, and that's new guy's son's football team.
Okay. All right. Well, we're done with that. I just wanted to see where everybody stood and see how many number ones we got. And here we have 2 out of 4 of us.
One last thing I like to say. I used to love the Bengals when they lost because I could go to a game anytime, get a cheap ticket, watch. Since they won, I went to the AFC last year, and this year tickets are way too expensive.
Huh.
Jesse and Joe wants to know when we started talking about football on here.
We've always talked about football first thing.
We just kind of glanced over at the beginning because there's nothing to talk about in the beginning, but now it's getting a little interesting.
Well, I think she should also lose 0 because she almost forgot about the show tonight because she was out with a friend.
We're her friends.
Yeah.
She shouldn't look at any other
And she
friends.
said they were at Jersey Mike's, so that works. We give her props for that.
Then she had noticed. She noticed. She at least was at the Mike's. You know.
That's probably what made her remember Mike's.
Jeez. People are just forgetting all about us. Anyway, all right. That's all I got to say about football. All right. What do I got here? What's that? I forget what that was. Oh, okay. I probably ought to talk about this because it's getting old now. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was a couple weeks ago. I didn't have enough time to go through it, but that's where Dolly won her thing. She shouldn't have won it. She should not have won in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. I know she's a great musician. She's not in rock. That's like putting rap people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
She has her whole thing down in Nashville.
She does, and she should stay down there. So I'm a little bitter because I've been in rock and roll music for 40 years. What do I get? Nothing.
But you know what some people are going to say?
I get one clap.
I can't because I'm holding the microphone.
Hey, I tried.
Here.
I tried.
Here.
I don't think you should put us over beside each other.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was a bad idea.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yeah, that's sad.
Double trouble.
That's sad. All right. Anyway, Dolly Parton won that money last week from Bezos too.
Yes.
I wish I'd win $100 million for my favorite charity because charity begins at home. So that would look real good in my account. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to glance over it because there were some good things that happened at that thing at the Rock and Roll Hall. I haven't. That's out in your neck of the woods, though. How far is it from you?
Oh, it's about 6 hours. Cleveland.
The other part of the state.
We're at the very bottom, and Cleveland's at the very top. And
Okay.
opposite sides.
Well, that's sad. But yeah, that's something I always wanted to do was go to the. Is that at the top of the state? So it's up there by some of my friends from.
It gets the same kind of snow that Buffalo does.
Okay. It gets that's interesting because my friends from Provantage are up there, and I could go up there and see them. And
Wait, aren't they the ones that don't like you?
no, they're the ones that loved me, and they're the ones that told me that I was being screwed over. So.
Well, that's what I meant. The ones that supposedly didn't like you.
Yeah. Anyway, surprise appearances to All-Star Sing-Alongs this year, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What was that? That was a weird noise. Was that you?
No.
Oh, that was a weird noise. Inductees were Carly Simon, Judas Priest, Duran Duran, Pat Benatar, finally, Neil Giraldo, Eurythmics, Dolly Parton, Lionel Richie, Eminem. Eminem shouldn't be there either. So I don't.
Yeah, because they melt in your mouth, not in your hand.
And many other legends like Bruce Springsteen, John Mellencamp, Alice Cooper, Steven Tyler, Dave Grohl, The Edge, Sheryl Crow, Pink, Lenny Kravitz, and Janet Jackson were also there. So they were not. I'm assuming they were not inductees. Only the first bunch were. The ballot recognizes a diverse group of incredible artists. Each have had a profound impact on the culture. I mean, that's cool. Let's see here. Some of the highlights. Duran Duran triumphs over setbacks. You know, Duran Duran, I wanted to hate them. I really did want to hate them. But they really grew on me. They actually had some good songs that were worthwhile. And that was during my college years. I didn't want to like them.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
Yeah, they have. Pat Benatar, she finally did. She deserved to be in there a long time ago. I'm glad she made it in. Judas Priest, that was one that they should have been in there a long time ago too. Rob Halford did it with and without Judas Priest. And actually, we interviewed the guitarist for Rob Halford Band a long time ago. That was kind of cool. So, and he was from Poland. He had a great story. He came over as a child. He was like 13 when he came over with his mom, and he wanted a guitar, and she couldn't afford one, so he worked on the docks, and the owner of the place decided not to pay him. So the mother went there and said, you better pay him what you promised him and what you owe him, or I'm going to call child services and say that you had a 13-year-old working on your dock. So they paid him, and he spent his money on a guitar and an amp. And he learned how
the
to,
rest is history.
Yeah, and he learned how to play, and he couldn't even hardly speak English at that point because he spoke Polish. In fact, if you could hear the interview, which you can't because all my archives are gone, he had a thick accent even when we spoke to him. We spoke to him when he was in his 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
But he talks about getting a call. His mother said, "Why did you buy that, with all your money?" And he was like, "I want to learn to play." And he learned to play, and he was making tapes and sending them out. And one time there was a phone call, and they said it was Rob Halford. And he said, "That's not." He just hung up on the guy. It was Rob Halford. And he got one of his tapes and heard him play, and he's on his live album. So it was just really cool, and we had a chance to talk to him. But yeah, I liked him. Olivia Rodrigo and Sarah, I don't even know the name of Bareilles, pay tribute to, yeah, whatever it is, pay tribute to Carly Simon. John Mellencamp condemns anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism.
Semitism.
Yeah, you can say it. Dave Grohl teams up with Lionel Richie. I would like to see that. I might have to pull it up on HBO. Eurythmics deliver thunderous hit set. I wonder if they're still together. Are they still together? Wow, that would be a lot. Well, I guess Eurythmics is just Annie Lennox and what's his name? Dave Stewart.
Wait, there's a new one in the chat room.
Steven Tyler with Eminem. Ooh. Who's? Oh yeah,
Maniac on Wheels.
I haven't seen him in years.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to do that. I forgot to.
Judas Priest was not inducted. They received the Musical Excellence Award.
Well, they should have been inducted. If they're going to be the excellent, they should get to play. Or they should. Hold on, I got to paste that in there because I forgot to do that. Because I don't know if any of my friends from acting are going to be there or not, but they won't if I don't remind them. Okay. So where are we at? Okay. Yeah, Steven Tyler and Eminem. He did the stuff with the, remember?
Run DMC.
Yeah, yeah. And he put them on the map. Then, of course, Dolly Parton debuts new rock song? Oh, well, of course, it's called Rockin'. I wonder if it's country. I'm going to have to listen to it just to hear it.
Well, some country sounds just like regular rock.
I haven't heard any of it. None of that sounds like rock to me. I'm really happy, though. Like,
well, it's
America's
rock with a country twist.
America's Got Talent this year had a all-black country female group, or I should say a trio, and they did a song in reply to Jolene. Dolly Parton heard it and sent them a message, and they ended up getting a record contract because of that. That I have to applaud her. She didn't have to do that, but that was just really cool that she actually did that. So I'm going to have to do a country song and dedicate it to her and see if I can pick that.
Oh, it wasn't dedicated to her, but didn't you do one called Red Solo Cup?
Oh, that one. Yeah, they weren't going to get me anything for that. That was a cut on him. That was not a pleasant. Do you remember that song, Red Solo Cup? It was just a horrible song.
Red Solo Cup?
Yeah, and it just, I got so tired of hearing it. I hated that song, so I wrote a parody of it. And I recorded
Will
it.
you fill it up?
And we played it. I played it on the air. It was, my Red Solo Cup song was great. I wonder if I could I'll have to look and see if I could find that. I forgot all about that. That was funny. But yeah, anyway, that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing. So, what's that? Okay, Tom
Night,
Brady.
Jesse Joe, love you.
Okay, so is Tom Brady going to pull a Tom Brady again?
Probably because he's Tom Brady.
I mean,
I don't think the team's good enough to go very far, but he's going to get them into playoffs.
I think,
and then he's dangerous.
He's very dangerous because he is. You don't know from week to week which Tom Brady you're going to get.
And that's kind of like Aaron Rodgers,
too. Was it the last game that he pulled it out the very last? Whoa! You got to think the coach for the other team. He ripped them apart. Ripped apart his team in the locker room because when you lose in the very last second and you're so far, how many points were they up?
Just like the Eagles last week.
I don't even remember.
I don't know either because I don't follow it. But I heard that I think we talked about it last week.
Yeah.
So Michael must have said it. Cirillo. So Cirillo.
Yeah.
Oh man, got to snooze that. All right. So the question is, is he? It says Tom Brady has played the NFL approximately 324. What? Has played in the NFL for approximately 324 years. What? Okay, I'm confused.
Well, that doesn't take much.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Well, didn't know he was that old.
Yeah. Well.
He looks great for being that old.
People keep saying he's done, and he comes back and he surprises everybody because he is done when he is done.
Ex-wife didn't want him coming back, evidently. So.
Well, I think he was good to get rid of the dead weight. He's Tom Brady. He'll get another girl. I don't think he has any problems with that. Problem is she gets half of everything, so
she's worth more than him, so he's losing.
Yeah, well, I somehow think that he's better off without her. What?
Look who popped in.
Hi, sexy.
You should be working.
Yes. Anyway, so they're trying to decide, because they had a couple losses in a row, and then they pulled it out, and I think I'd like to see another ring on his finger.
Wait,
he's running out of fingers, though.
How's he in the chat room? He doesn't have a computer or a phone in his hand.
He's very. He does it with the mind.
Well,
anyway.
You know what would be a good game is seeing the Buccaneers against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, because both quarterbacks, they can get very mean if they have to.
Okay.
Because I've watched some games with Aaron Rodgers, and to see his facial expressions and how he really comes down hard on some of the guys, I was like, yeah.
Who? Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Well, the coach hates him, and he hates the head coach. So it's not a pleasant situation in Green Bay.
So it says now the Bucs sit atop the NFC South at 5-5. That means one win, one loss, one win, one loss. That's really not that good.
They were worse. They've come back, actually.
Yeah. It means they'll be back in the playoffs, and, well, the rest is probably going to be history. We'll see who, The Eagles suffered their first loss of the season last night. Well, I don't know when last night was.
But that was over a week ago.
Okay.
Monday Night Football.
Okay. The Cowboys and the Giants in the tier below the two teams, and they are
I believe
both very beatable.
Jen was at that game.
I know somebody who likes Giants.
Jen and her brother and some of the co-workers.
I'm going to see her tomorrow.
And I was like, oops, I hope that wasn't the reason they lost.
Okay.
I know somebody who likes the Giants.
The midgets?
No.
Who? Okay.
God's sister.
Okay, we need to clarify this now. I got to take it. What is his name?
Antoine.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's Antoine.
Yeah.
Did we know that?
I did. That's the new one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. She has a running list. It's hard to keep up with.
You're one of them, huh?
No, never.
Just when you get used to one, she changes.
Pickle.
Well, this one I'm not changing.
That's what you said about the
I wouldn't
last
either. What you're telling me. I'd like to find me a girl like that.
He's better than a pilot.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure probably is. Depends if he pays the credit card off. And, anyway.
Well, he just buys me a car.
Yeah. Sometimes some of us guys do that. It's crazy. Anyway, all right. So that's that. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here we got a good one. Fast and Furious. Anyone see the Fast and Furiouses?
I've seen some of them.
Any of them? 0, 1?
Maybe bits and parts of them?
No, that doesn't count. Okay, there's a new one coming out. It's Fast and Furious 10. It's going to be the most expensive Fast and Furious of all. Now, I thought we could play a little game.
Oh no.
I'm going to tell you.
You're it, I quit.
He cheats.
No, I'm not in this game. I'm the host.
You're it, I quit.
Okay, so here you go. The Fast and Furious is the new one. The new one is going to be one of the most expensive movies ever made. Now,
how much?
I'm about to tell you.
Oh, I thought that was going to be the guess.
No. So anyway, we'll talk about that. Well, we'll talk about that first. Then we'll talk about the game. So the new one is going to be the Fast X. Fast X is the name of it, and actually he tried to get The Rock on that movie.
Right, I remember
Rock
that.
says
no. I thought he said no.
He says read between the lines. So he doesn't have no time at all for that guy. So that shows, the way it is. I mean, a lot of people have problems. What's this? More than like makes
yeah.
the show. What?
The movie costs more than you make hosting the show.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, he got a better contract than I do. But my negotiations, I mean,
You have to talk to the board about that.
Well, the 2023 year's coming, and I got to renegotiate for those couple weeks that we're off. So, anyway, so okay, anybody want to guess just off the top of their head?
How much?
How much? It's going to be one of the most expensive movies.
$3 billion.
No, it's going to be under $1 billion.
Okay.
490.
Okay.
I'm going to say 75 million.
Okay. Just pull a number. Doesn't matter. I'll give you a clue. It's between the two of them.
50 billion. Or million.
It's between both of them. So you just went below one of them.
100 million.
Huh?
Say 100
Okay,
million.
100 million.
Okay, you're closest. It's going to be $340 million.
Wow.
So you got it on almost. Well, if we go for the closest without going over, you lost. But we don't do that. We go closest.
Just closest, no matter what.
Anyway, so
It better do well in the box office.
now think about all the movies out there. The Avengers movies, the Rocky movies, and all that. This is going to cost more than the Avengers movies, which is all CGI. I mean, think about that. That's a lot of money for a car movie.
Yeah, but it's Vin Diesel.
Yeah, probably $300 million is probably his salary, and the rest is probably. All right, why is this not scrolling? Why are you not?
The rest of it is probably just peanuts.
I want to know why you're not scrolling. You should be scrolling. I need you to scroll because you're not going to do me any good if you're not scrolling. There we go. It says here, Fast and Furious saga has come a long way from chronicling the adventures of a bunch of Los Angeles street racers. And it says that the Fast X will be one of the most expensive movies ever at $340 million. I can't fathom $340 million. That's just
now, is
unreal.
This the 10th Fast and Furious?
This is the 10th one.
They're not, okay.
And guess what?
That's what X means, 10.
Yeah, but that's not where I was thinking.
So it could have been times.
Yeah, exactly. Like Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Yeah, just another way of saying, since Fast Times was taken.
Exactly.
Fast X. No. So anyway, so the game is this. Of the Fast and Furious 1 through 10, 10 being excluded because we know how much that is, I'm going to go through one at a time, and you give me what you think each of them made.
Oh.
I don't know if I like this game.
I don't.
Well, it
And we hadn't even started.
Okay, you're it. I quit.
Because I haven't remembered. Well,
Fast-
I remember watching them with Pam. A couple
Fast
of
and
them with Pam.
Furious 1 was 2009. Fast and Furious... Oh, I'm sorry. Fast and Furious 1 was 2001.
Well, let's see. We might be sticking with the one theme here.
So, how much do you think that made?
1 million.
25 max.
25 million?
Yeah. Cost.
5 million.
It made 144 million.
Wow. Hey, there was
I'm
a
sorry,
one
wait
in
a
there.
minute, wait a minute.
I thought you said
hold on,
cost
hold on,
per
hold on,
acre.
hold on. Lifetime. Yeah, lifetime gross. 144 million. And what did it cost to make it?
That's what I am.
Wait a minute, let me see here. Make sure I got this right. I had theaters opening. Oh, I don't have okay, I got the gross. I don't have how much it cost. Okay, so we'll do, okay, so I thought I had that right. I don't. Okay, so did 144 million, you said 100 million? Or what'd you say?
I thought you asked how much it cost to
That
make.
is what I said, so.
I said 25.
25. Okay. How much do you think it made? That's it. That's cut and paste that earlier.
I know how much it made.
I know how much it made too because I just told you.
Yeah, she Googled it.
Huh?
I don't want her to cheat. Don't keep an eye on her.
Well, she is. That's why she's covering up.
Don't
So I don't see it.
turn it off. Turn it off. Otherwise, you're disqualified. She turn it off.
No, she flipped to another screen.
Okay.
I already saw the first one. That's why.
Okay. The first one. Okay. That.
But I won't look.
So I gave you the first one. I'm going to go to the second one now. Let's see, 2001. This is well, it took them that a couple years to come out with the second one. No, is that 2003? Okay, 2003 is Too Fast, Too Furious. How much did that make?
I think it went down to about 100 million.
Quit cheating.
I'm not. I'm going to say that it made 500,000.
We'll do 15 million.
15 million?
Mm-hmm.
It did 127 million. You guys are shooting low on this.
Well, the reason I went low is because the second movie usually does not do as well.
It didn't do as well because the first one did 144, this one did 127. Third one was, let's see, that's 2001, 2003, 2006. The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. That one, I'm going to tell you, was my least favorite of all the ones.
Okay. Nope. Get out of there.
No,
cheat.
I'm looking up some. I'm not looking up. What?
110.
110.
Okay.
I'm going to say 150 million.
200 million.
It did 62 million. It didn't do nearly as well.
So that's the one we should have went down on.
That's the one you should have gone down.
I didn't want to hurt the franchise, so I went up over. They hurt themselves, though.
Yeah, they did. They that was a horrible movie. It was horrible. They didn't even have all the stars in it. They took it to Tokyo, and for some reason I don't think that even I don't even think that Vin was in that because it had like the Japanese guy and it had former cop. Okay, so it did have what's his face in it. It had the let's see here. Yeah, well, here it says the budget was $76 million, and they made what did we say it made? 67 million, or actually 62 million. So that one, that kind of crashed.
And burnt.
And that either They had to cancel the series or do better.
Yeah, I mean, if you base that on whether or not you're going to continue, you would not. You would have. That would have been it.
Hey, there's a
But-
message for you in the trash or in the chat room.
Hey,
Hi,
Christine.
Ruined Trash Bin.
How you doing, Christine? Then we got the next one, which was let's see, that one was at 2006. So the next one would have been. I can barely see that. I probably. Wow, they didn't have another one until. Well, here's 2009. So that was Fast and Furious. So Fast and Furious 2009, where did they go from there?
Well, let's see. If they you said they did 62 million.
62 million, yes. They went from what was it, 144 to 62, so almost half what that was. I'm going to tell you it went up from the 62.
Okay.
You know, that studio had an awful lot of faith.
I think it was. I think that Vin Diesel's producing it, and he probably put a lot of his money in it, because I can't imagine a studio going back saying, "Oh yeah, we'll give you another." You know, their budget was like, what was it?
It was 76 for the second movie.
Yeah, their budget. Oh, it doesn't say what their budget is. We'll check their budget, but their budget. See, I thought that was going to have all that stuff in it when I did this. When I did the other ones that I'm going to talk about later, you'll see what I was doing.
I'm going to say 120 million.
120?
Yeah. They
Okay.
did a good job.
Okay.
I'm going to go 125.
Oh. she's Price is right in you. What do you got?
No, that's only if it's one more.
What are you on?
100.
No,
Okay.
that's what the Cirillo in the chat room said.
Well, she's here. She can say
Yeah,
that.
that's true.
He's just an audience member now.
He
said how much? 125. 120. You said 125. All right. The answer is
Dun, 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 dun.
155 million.
Wow. They did very well.
Yes, they took an upward swing on that, and it's funny because they had less. Well, they did have more theaters, so that helps a little. They had 600 more theaters, but still.
Is that
That's
including
'cause more were
overseas or
built-
just US?
Yeah. Well, this is
Gross.
everything.
This is
Gross.
Just pre-COVID too?
This is Well, when did COVID start?
Yeah, that's true.
What did I say? It was 2009. Do you think it started back then?
You never know.
All right, next one. That was 2009. So the next one's 2011, and that one was called Fast 5, and that was Fast 5. So I can tell you it went up from there.
180.
180.
I was going to say 175.
Okay, 175.
We'll do 190.
190. She prices right at you.
Well, I at least went under this time.
Well, it was 209.
Oh,
Wow.
209. And see, they've been going up.
They're making a comeback.
They're making a comeback. But keep in mind, this new one budget is $340 million. So they have not.
So they're still losing money.
Well, if they were going by that standard, but we're talking about 10 years ago. So their budget now. I mean, I don't know what their budget was. Well, let's take a look. Let's see. They made money, I think, on that one. That was what I say, 209. Let's see what it was. Their budget was. Holy cow, 125 million was their budget, and they made money, but that wasn't a lot of money considering what they put into it. So that was
That barely lined the pockets of all the execs.
yeah, that barely paid Vince Vince.
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I know him as Vince.
Uh-huh.
211. Okay, so now we're at 2013, Fast and Furious 6. It went up from there. So that was at 209.
240.
310.
It went up from there. I'm going to say 250.
It was 226. That's yours. All right, then we got, that was 6. So 7 was Furious 7. And that was in 2000. Wait, is that right? Yeah, that was in 2015.
Hmm. 275.
All right.
260.
300.
You got it.
Really?
It was
They did that much.
353.
Is that why you're looking there?
353.
No.
Is she cheating?
Somebody just died.
Is it a famous person?
Army Hammer's dad, Michael Armand Hammer.
Oh. Army's in trouble. He,
With the Navy.
He's in trouble with women. He sexually harassed women. He's in trouble. That's why we haven't seen him in any movies for a while. That was 2015. We got 2017 was The Fate of the Furious. It went down from the last one. So, go ahead.
300.
300. The last one was 353.
I'm going to say 325.
I'll do 310.
You said 300? You got it. It was 226. It took a nosedive on that.
Yeah.
And
I didn't think it took that much.
it took a big nosedive on that. Let's see what they're. It cost. The budget was. The budget was 250. So they lost money on that one. So, that's horrible.
I don't know these. I don't know.
How many we got left here? We were at 2017. Now we got 2019 as the Fast and the Furious. Hobbs, that's the one with The Rock. Okay. It went down from there.
Wow.
He wants to spend that much. Oh, freaking, hey. Give me money. I could fix my thing up for a lot less. Anyway, it went down from there. It was not 220. What did I say? 220. 226 was. So it's going to be less than 226.
Well, I'll just go 200,000.
All right.
225.
190.
173.
Yeah. This studio, man, they just keep rolling it right back.
Again, if
it must be their money.
He must making. Okay, so its budget was 200 million.
And they lost money.
Now, wait a minute. Domestic. Oh, maybe that was the domestic numbers. Hold on. Because it says here, it said worldwide it did 760. Now I need to look at these other ones. Hold on. Oh, wow. Made $1 billion. Okay, now I know why he's doing it. Okay, so it made $1 billion too.
That's why I asked you, is that worldwide?
I thought they were worldwide. I didn't realize that was domestic. Well, now we just lost the whole game. That sucks. Well, okay. So that was Hobbs. Do they have one after that? Yeah. F9. That's one I took my mom to. F9. I guess we're only talking domestically. It is less than the last one. That was the one they did on ice and stuff. That one was cool. I like that one. And now I'm curious as to what that was going to be.
900 million worldwide.
Okay. 900 million?
There was 1 point. There's one.
Oh, you're going with the gross.
Gross.
Okay.
Gross worldwide.
Okay, we're going to do the gross, I guess. I don't know what the gross is because I didn't look that up. I should have looked.
Well, let's.
I thought that was going to be
gross.
gross.
Let's do domestic then. What was domestic for the last one?
173.
All right, I'll go 150.
All right.
I'm going to say 125.
115.
It was 173,005. The other one was 173,956.
Wow.
So that was yours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now you talk about they're going to be putting $340 million in this new one, but if they're making
$1 billion,
I guess that makes sense. In fact, let's look at F9 what that did.
That's why I kept saying the studio. I don't understand.
Okay, so F9 did 726, so they got their money back and then some. So yeah, I guess they. I wish they would have put it says lifetime gross. That would have, to me, meant everywhere,
Everything.
but I guess they are not. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to talk about the world's most expensive movies. And if you can read that, don't read it.
Okay.
So these are the most expensive movies ever made. The Lion King. Did you know that was one of the most expensive movies?
I believe that.
Okay, now that was the one that we went to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was the 2019, I think.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go see another one with your mom, and it didn't work, so they ended up...
We saw that one with Shannon.
Yeah.
Okay, so how are we going to do this? Okay, I'll tell you how much it cost. You tell me how much it made. How about that?
Ooh.
So this one cost $260 million.
Okay.
700 worldwide.
It made.
And I know. By the way, I know that those numbers I have on here from this are worldwide because I did those by hand.
Okay.
I'm going to say 800.
800. What are you saying?
750.
750. It is 1.6 billion.
Ooh.
$1.6 billion.
Wow. Okay.
Who was high there? I didn't even know. Okay.
I was, yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said 800.
And you said?
I said 700.
Okay. All right. Star Wars Episode 7, The Last Jedi, cost $262 million to make.
$380. No. 1.5 billion.
Okay.
I'm going to just say 1 billion.
1.2.
It was... Oh, jeez, I can't control it. It was... 1.3 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, these are Star Wars. They did really well. How about Batman versus Superman? It was $263 million budget.
I'll say $1 billion.
$2 million.
$2 million. What? That was just concessions at one place.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure you're paying attention over there. Actually, I'll say 2 billion.
2 billion. Okay.
I'll do 5 billion.
5? Okay.
Well, it is Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, but you know how much they bought the Star Wars collection from, what's his name from?
Walt Disney?
When Disney bought it from Lucas, you know how much he paid for the whole collection of Star Wars?
No.
$4.6 billion.
Oh.
Okay? They made that many times over.
Wow.
Okay. What was the numbers again?
I said 2 billion.
You said 2 billion? You said 4 billion?
Yeah.
Do you want to revise that?
Mm-hmm.
It's not 4 billion, I can tell you.
I think I said 3.
Did you?
Billion. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, what do you want to say?
3 billion.
3 billion. 3 billion.
All these numbers are going. Boo.
Go ahead. I mean, it doesn't really matter. The points don't count.
Yeah, I know.
Everything's made up and the points
That's
don't
right.
matter.
That's what I mean. It came out to $873.6 million. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that DC films don't generate the kind of money that Marvel generates. Marvel has really captured the market with their marketing and everything. DC keeps falling down on the job, which is a shame because I like the DC characters better because that's what I grew up with. I didn't grow up with the Marvel characters. So, okay, next one is John Carter. This is I barely remember John Carter even coming out. I mean, that was just like a one-time.
I thought he was on ER.
John Carter was $264 million budget, and I barely remember. It was kind of like remember what's his name? Keanu Reeves played that character, whatever character that is that he's played. He's coming out with a new one.
Matrix.
Not the Matrix, the stupid one that he did. I mean, Matrix was pretty advanced. That should have been in this list, but it's not. These are the best drawing movies. I can't remember the name of the movies. But anyway, John Carter, I barely remember it, but that was the kind of character he was. He was like a...
John Wick?
John Wick, yeah. He was like a John Wick character, I think. Because I really don't remember. I saw this movie, and it stuck to me so good that I don't remember anything about it. But it was a big budgeted movie.
And you said that it had a budget of what?
It had a budget of $264. It didn't do that well, by the way.
$260.
Okay.
$300.
Okay.
$270.
It did. You ready? Did $284.
Oh.
You said $260. You said
$270.
And you said
$300.
Okay. Like I said, I don't really remember that movie a whole lot. Star Wars: The Rise of the Skywalker from 2019. It had a budget of $275.
Well, this is when COVID hit.
Not yet.
Okay.
It was 2020,
Okay.
March. The reason I know that is I had all those acting jobs all lined up,
Yeah, that's true.
and I was going to be starring in 3 of them, and COVID canceled 2, and I only got to be in 1 of those. $275 is the budget. It's a Star Wars: Rise of the Skywalker.
Okay, I'm going to say $800 million.
All right.
$750.
All right.
$775.
She always split.
$1.074 billion.
Oh.
Then there was Solo, a Star Wars story in 2018. Its budget was $275. Hey, incidentally, that's the same as the budget for The Rise of Skywalker. That was one that they really said was a bad movie, but I liked it. It actually was a good movie, and I don't know why they... That's the one that they showed where Solo came from. They showed him as a pirate, and then they showed how he became a good guy. And I liked that movie a lot. That showed a Wookiee that was a little younger. You could tell by the way he took care of his hair. It was longer, because he was younger. Much like me. When I was
what was the
younger,
budget
my hair was
again?
longer. $275.
I'm going to say $500.
All right.
Do $550.
Ooh. And
$400.
the answer is 393 million.
Wow.
Like I said, people really didn't want that movie. And it's a shame because it was I liked the movie. All right. Justice League had a $300 million budget. It was a DC movie. Just
$350 million.
$500.
$400.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was $657. And Pirates of the Caribbean. Which one is it? It was
Is that the Johnny
2000s
Depp version?
Yes. They're all Johnny Depp versions. 2007, A World's End. The budget was $300 million. These shocked me. I was really surprised how popular these Pirates of the Caribbean were.
I loved the first two, and I wasn't really into it after that.
I saw a couple of them, and I don't know which ones I saw, because I was trying to understand why people liked them.
Depp.
Yeah, I like Johnny Depp, but
He played, that character was pretty funny.
yeah, well, he was drunk when he played them most of the time, so it was realistic. Anyway, any numbers?
650.
All right.
7.
And what'd you say? Or did you?
I didn't. I'm going to say 6. We got a
6.
good span.
All right.
Very close.
Pirates of the Caribbean did $960 million.
Wow.
Like I said, those Pirates of the Caribbean, those are money
They got
makers.
a lot of treasure.
I'm really shocked. And then Infinity War, which was the finale of the Marvel Avengers. Wait, was that the final? No, that wasn't the final. That was the one before the final. The one you thought was going to be the final, and then they said, "We're not going to finish it up yet. We're going to milk you for more money." But it was really good. If you didn't see them, and you like those kind of movies, it was really, really good.
Oh, I don't even know what.
It's up. All I can tell you is they were high.
600 million.
Okay.
750.
Wait a minute. You said up?
Up.
A billion.
Okay.
800.
And what'd you say?
750.
Are you sticking with that?
Yes.
Since he changed his number.
Yep, I'm sticking to it.
It is over. It was over $2 billion worldwide.
Wow.
$2 billion worldwide. And then let's talk about Endgame. That was the finale when they killed Thanos. What do you think? Their budget on that was $350.
I'm going with 2 million. 2 billion.
$2 billion?
I go with 1 billion.
I'll split between the two and say 1.5.
1.5? I think this is the last one, too. It did $2.798 billion worldwide.
Wow.
Dude, that number's just,
That bought a lot of Lamborghinis.
Yeah. Oh, there is one more. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. It was 2011, and it was $422 million budget. I think that's the last one.
100 million. No, what'd I say? 100 million? No, I'm talking 1 billion.
I was going to say, what are you talking about? I said it was like a...
Okay, it's an hour into the show. Ready to stop working.
This is $1 million now, so what are you guys going to do? I get it. You're trying to psych them out, make them go under $1 million. Yeah, I got it.
Think it'll work?
No.
1.5.
1.5 what?
Billion.
And
2 billion.
2 billion. Okay. This one did 1.045 billion.
Wow.
I did miss one. I missed Age of Ultron, but that one had a $386 million budget, and it did 1.3 billion. So those are actually making money. So these are the films that made, other than John Wick or whatever, John Carter. I think John Carter is the only one of those that didn't make a whole lot of money, but it's one thing to that shows that the movie business was doing really well at one point. Now we'll see those. We're starting to see some of those numbers come back as people are going to the theater. Black Adam did well. What was the
Black Panther did
Black
well.
Panther did well. There are a couple out there that are doing fairly well.
Ticket to Paradise, I think, is doing well.
But the reason they're doing well is they're releasing the big ones scattered apart enough, and there are a lot of low-budget movies in there. So either go see the big movie or the low-budget movies. So I mean, the movie industry is making a comeback. So it'll be about the time when I get in the movie business, I should be making big bucks. So until
Extra
then,
zeros.
night. He said night.
Well, the real one above is free food to Ite.
Oh,
meaning he's bringing free food home tonight.
And this is home, right? He's bringing free food for us.
From Papa John's.
So pizza.
Papa John's is okay. Anyway, so that was kind of it didn't go quite the way I wanted it to go, but it did all right. I think I should have made it shorter, and I should have figured, but that's the way it goes. All right, so I just grab this one and delete the whole.
He should be driving, not texting.
Yeah. Come on. Why are you not letting me? Okay. You gotta let me have it. Are we gonna have a crash here? Okay. Okay. There we go. That took a big chunk out of that. Okay, Walking Dead ended this week. The last one.
So they became alive?
The Walking Dead is done. So I'm probably the only one here that watched it.
I never watched one of them.
It was really a good series. I thought it was one of the better series. It lasted 12 years. And what made it good was it wasn't a zombie show. It was a survival show. And if you took out the zombies, it still could have been a really good show because it was about what would you do if the world collapsed like that. And pretty much, I thought it did a good job of following that because they had groups of people that gathered together to try to survive together. And then you had these groups of people against those groups of people. And every time Rick Grimes' group would enter another community, within 2 weeks they would end up destroying that community. Not on purpose. It just happened that way. So I learned that if you're going to be in an apocalypse, you don't want to be in Rick's group, and you don't want to let Rick's group into your group because it would implode. That's what I learned from it. But I liked the show a lot. Now, here's the reason it ended. It didn't end because it didn't have a following. It did end because they made a bad deal. So when the show started, they didn't think it was going to last more than a couple seasons. So they sold the rights for the show to Netflix, which meant if you missed the show and didn't record the show, you were not going to see a replay of the show unless you subscribed to AMC because they had to give the money to Netflix because they made a bad deal. So after 12 years, they ended the show, and they're starting a couple spin-offs, which are not Netflix. So they're going to make money off the spin-offs. So that's why they ended the show, not because they wanted to end the show. Now, the comic book that it was based on had ended a lot different than the series ended. And I really thought they did a good job of wrapping it all up and making you wonder what these new spin-offs are going to be about, because the spin-offs look pretty good to me. So I'm going to be a spin-off fan for this. And a lot of times when they do spin-offs, the spin-offs aren't nearly as good as the real show. But this time, I think they have 3 spin-offs that they already acknowledged are going to come out. One is Rick, the main character, and his wife are going to have their own show. Then they have one with Daryl, who was never in the original comic book series. It was just an added character in the first series, in the first set of episodes. He was just written in there as a throwaway character. He became the main character at the end. So it's kind of funny how that works because the comic books never had him in it.
I was going to say, was he the only one that stuck around?
Him and Carol both stuck around.
Okay.
And they were the only 2 from the first episode that made it all the way to the end. There was another girl that made it through the end from the first year, but there were only 2 from the first episode that made it all the way to the end. I liked the series because they didn't mind killing off main characters, so you wouldn't expect them to kill off main characters, but they did that, and they killed off kids, and they killed off. I mean, everybody was game for that. Everybody could die, and the characters didn't know they were going to die till they got that script. So it was really kind of funny how that all happened. And they kept the last episode in a vault, and they didn't show it to anybody until the finale.
Wow.
And I could leak, I usually got them ahead of time. I couldn't get them ahead of time for that last one, and I wanted to know what was going to happen. Wanted to know if any of my favorite ones were going to die, and they only killed 2 main characters off on the last episode, and they were like mercy killings, so they weren't as... If they had killed Daryl or his dog, people said if they killed the dog, they were going to blacklist the show. The dog was the cool... He had a dog named Dog. But it was a good ending for the show, and I was really glad that they did it the way they did it, because it turned out pretty good. So it says why The Walking Dead isn't really ending, and it isn't because they have all these new shows coming out. And I'll tell you, this is my next chance to get on it. I want to get on that show. I mean, I wouldn't fit in that universe because people are starving there. I'm not looking like I'm starving too much.
Well, I keep sending you the casting thing for Law and Order SVU.
That's not real.
Oh.
The thing about those castings that you send me is that they are clickbait.
Okay.
They get people to subscribe to their sites and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because the speaking parts on those have to go through agents. The background parts, that's a possibility, but I've learned that those aren't real. That's like if you see one, they were saying that Ozark was casting after Ozark was over. Those are clickbaits, and I learned that they are out there, and so I know basically if I want to get a speaking role, I have to be SAG or Afro. I think it's Afro, and I'm not.
Okay.
And you can't be SAG until you do some background roles.
I'll quit sending them to you.
I just think it's funny, and I didn't want to stop you from sending it because you may send me something that is real. Not Israel, but is real. So I didn't stop you on any of those because, I did want to tell you that, but I just haven't seen you that much lately. So.
Well, the phone works.
Yeah, well.
Hello?
What?
Who?
I need to learn how to use one because I didn't have 30 years of being on the phone to keep me from doing that. But okay, all right. So yeah, the that's the situation on The Walking Dead. So I'll make sure I give this to Twitter too. Anyway, here's the next one's really interesting. We've been following this kind of on the sly. Did you ever hear the TV show Chris Lee Knows Best?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just got sentenced.
Well, yes. I always wondered whether or not that show was real. When you'd watch it, you'd say, they don't seem like they're really a family. And the father really seems gay. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it, but he really does seem really gay. And his wife...
Yeah, it's nothing wrong with it, but it didn't fit.
Right. I thought, where did they find this cast of characters? They could not possibly be a family. And I found out that I'm wrong. They could possibly be a family. And then when I read about the tax evasion about 2 years ago, I thought, wow, this guy isn't even wealthy. He owes like all this money. And when I did his net value, he has less money than I do. So that's really sad.
And that's why he did what he did.
And yeah, I feel kind of sorry for him now. Because, I mean, geez, he's getting 12 years? 12 years.
They went after him.
They did.
As an example.
I just really think that was harsh. I mean,
and his wife got 9.
Yeah.
Now, did they decide yet whether it's going to be concurrent or consecutive?
I don't know. I have an article. I didn't read it because I usually do that on the air.
Because wife was asking to stay out until her child was 18.
Oh. I don't know the answer to that. I just think it's really sad that that if they did this, I'm sad for them because kind of, you think you're on top of the world, and it's like, where are they putting all the money from the TV show? Where's that money going? Because they're not doing that TV show for free. They get residuals off of that and everything. So, I just kind of wonder, because really, I think it was, what was it, $12 million or something that they owed, and I think that maybe there could have been a better way to handle this, because why didn't the government say, we're going to let you out, but you got to pay this much a year or something? Because that seems really crazy to just say, you're going to jail. It doesn't seem like we're not getting our money back.
See, the penalty is what, 10, could be up to 30 years, I believe.
Okay, here it says the convictions, which came nearly 3 years after they were indicted by a federal grand jury for falsifying the documents to secure more than $30 million in bank loans for personal use, could potentially land the pair behind bars for 30 years. Prosecutors in a sentencing memo recommended Todd serve 17 and a half to nearly 22 years in prison, and Julie 10 to 12 and a half years. So that's what the sentencing was. Man, they just are making an example out of them.
There are people that do far worse crimes that get less time.
Yeah. There's people that kill people that get out in less time. I just think that was really a really stiff penalty. I just really.
But it could be more for the name because of who they are, rather than what they did.
But still, even if you gave him 10 years for him, rather than, or what they give him, 12?
12.
Even if you gave him 5 years, or, and then he gets a year of probation, like, that really matters. Really, because what do you, after 20 years, or 12 years in jail, that's just crazy stuff. But I mean, if they did falsify these documents, they deserve some time.
What they did was bad, but I don't think it's worth that many years. But she's asking for house arrest till the daughter's 18. And then she'd serve her sentence.
But I think I just read where the daughter's going to step up and take care of the two younger children.
Well, then she's gone. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, they're not having a sentence to 12 years. That's just crazy. I don't know.
But they'll find ways to get out early.
Well, I don't know. He doesn't have any money. He's definitely hurting.
He could get out early on good behavior.
Can he?
That's why they have good behavior, to try to keep you in line.
That's that. I just think it's insane.
If you have a good inmate, then there's a payoff to get out early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. And then they're having a bad run of luck, a really bad run of luck. So not only do they get a conviction like that, then their son. Oops, I just close that. Forget it, just in case. All right, their son, Grayson.
Yes.
Yeah. Was just. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Darn it. Grayson. Just was in a car accident. And he went to the hospital.
Badly injured.
Yes. So they're like.
Well, if it wasn't for bad luck, they'd have no luck at all.
I'd probably like to have no luck at all compared to that.
I don't know where they're going to sentence them, but they may get a less than max prison.
Look at that truck.
You know where all the stars go? There's a place in Allentown, just north of here.
Oh.
That is a country club of prisons. It's a prison.
Yeah, prison.
But it's a country club of prison.
Well, I didn't like the guy, but I hate to see that happen to him. I hate to see that he got them pretty much screwed out of the whole thing. I mean, you figure he's probably 40s, 50s.
Who, Chrisley?
Chrisley, yeah. Anybody?
At least 40s.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got to be closer to 50, though.
53.
There we go. So he's going to be 70 something when he comes out. That just seems really
harsh.
I mean, you should have drugged some woman's.
Well, if murderers were getting correct prison sentences, I'd say it wasn't harsh, but
yeah.
The other thing is they didn't have anything to bargain with. See, a lot of people have people to give up, and they make deals, and that's a lot of the reasons murder convictions aren't as high as other.
Yeah, maybe they could fill out some more paperwork and get some more loans and pay the government what they want.
Get some personal loans for the prosecutor and the judge.
And then I saw where their attorney's also involved, but
yes,
he's not going to prison till after his hip surgery in May 2023.
He's going in too.
He got 3 years.
Wow.
I don't know if it was his tax attorney, right?
Yes.
Oh, well, then he deserves it because he knew better. He should have known better. I don't know. I just think it's horrible. But anyway, Grayson was apparently driving his pickup and was driving too close to the pickup in front of him. There was a standstill of traffic and slammed right into him. Whew, that's just horrible. There's the one he hit. So, yeah, that's. See, he should have spent his money on a Tesla. He would have been okay.
Yeah. Well, they were desperate for money. Money makes you do really dumb things.
Yeah. It's let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see what Todd is worth right now.
I thought we looked at that and it was like
1.5. Oh, he's 1.5 million. Last time I checked, it was $500,000. So he made $1 million since I looked last time.
We looked at it last week and it was 1.5.
Okay, that's what it was then. Yeah. So that's just. I don't know. But at least one thing that came out of it is I know that show is real now.
Well, what gets me is whose idea was it to come up with this tax evasion thing?
Are they?
Well, you don't play with the government.
I think that's why the tax attorney got 3 years, because he may have.
I would imagine.
I don't know if Christie's that smart.
Yeah, I doubt that. But I don't know.
You know, are they lying in bed at night thinking, let's see, what can we do to hide money and really screw the government?
Well, a lot of people do that. But when the government's breathing up your butt, you want to make sure that you have your records as clean as they can possibly be.
Yeah. See, they have things called audits.
Yeah.
And this was caught in an audit.
Yep. Yeah, this took a long time for them to get them. So, all right. Did you see any of the Creed movies?
Yeah.
Did you? Well, I know you did because there's a new one coming out in the spring. Creed 3 is coming out.
I only saw Creed 1. I did not see 2.
Creed 1 and 2, excellent movies. I really thought this is cool. Creed 3, Sylvester Stallone is not in, and he regrets that he's not in it because that was his movie. He sold the rights to his movie. Says. His absence from Creed 3 is regretful. I know what it could have been. So I don't know if that means that it's not going to be that good. I think it's going to be a good movie. Like I said, I saw the first two, and I thought they were really well done. And
who has the right to the Creed movies? What streaming service has Creed? Do you know?
None yet, because it's probably going to... It will probably be probably HBO.
Okay.
I'm not sure who the. Let's see. It may say. Let's look. If it's one of the. I would imagine it's going to be HBO, but I don't know. It says here. Sylvester Stallone's relationship with the Creed franchise is a little rocky. Ooh, aren't we special? In an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, the 76-year-old actor was asked if it's going to be weird to watch Creed 3, the first installment of the film where he's not in it. And it says, it's a regretful situation because I know what it could have been. It was taken in a direction that is quite different than I would have taken it. Okay, so he didn't apparently write the script. And a rep for the actor who starred as the retired boxer turned mentor, Rocky Balboa, in the first 2 Creed installments, confirmed to the outlet that Stallone would be absent from the film in April. Well, I guess that was last year. He explained why he bowed out. I just didn't know if there was any part for me. Well, I wonder how long. Well, they could have made him. What was his manager's name?
I forget, but he died.
Yeah, I know.
And
he
so
was the Penguin.
He would. It would have been just natural for Creed to have stepped into that role.
Yeah, and I thought it was a brilliant way that he brought Creed to the table, and the fact that he didn't want to train him at first, and I thought that it was brilliant the way that was written. And so I don't know how they're going to do it. I would imagine it'll be good though, because the past 2 were really good. But if freaking Stallone.
One of the things I really liked about 1 is he didn't win.
Right. Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind sitting down watching all the Rocky movies back to back, because I loved I watched them late, because when they came out I thought, I'm not really interested, and then they were big hits, and I thought, well, maybe I should watch them to see what everybody likes about them. And it really, even if you're not a boxing fan, it really captured my attention. So I thought it was really well done. And of course, the reason I watched it was because Hogan was in the 1. Body slammed and all that. And that made Hogan a household name, because of that movie.
Well, a girl that we both know very well was in love with Stallone. I had to quit taking her to the Rocky movies.
What, you afraid your body couldn't hold up to his?
No. No way, shape, or form. I have 1 ab.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a 24-pack. Although I have less of a 24-pack now.
Yeah.
So he knew me when I was at my biggest. So.
Well, I figured if it's been longer than she's been alive.
He knew me when I was lost in the world, didn't have a clue what I was doing.
But he was a funny, great guy.
How much did he pay you to say that?
Yeah, right.
I'm independently wealthy at this point.
I thought it would bounce by now. The residuals are going to stop.
Okay.
That was an interesting time in my life, but and all I got to say is Roberts Valley Road.
Okay. Let's just move right on. Hey, I was someplace and I had to give my top 10 secrets.
That's one that would be forever
That
a secret.
did not go on that list.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Well, there's a comment in the chat room that says if you'd sit and binge watch the Rocky movies, somebody else would do that with you because he loves them.
Oh, it would.
And he'd
bring the popcorn.
But it's what I'm afraid of is it would be dated, really dated. Nobody had cell phones back then. And,
it would be dated, but it would really be dated.
My memory of it is going to be better than the actual movie, and that's why I don't watch movies that from the 70s, because I think, well, why don't you just pick up your phone and call them? You can't do that. You don't have them back then.
Technology changes.
Yeah, and so some things are better left in the memory.
But every time I watch Up in Smoke, I laugh like crazy.
I watched that one time, and that was just
one too many times. That's how most people feel.
Well, I mean, if you're,
I was a stoner, Mike.
Yeah.
Stoner.
Well, yeah, and even though I have my medical marijuana card, I use it for one thing: sleep. If I actually started dreaming again once I started taking the pills at night. I could actually sleep through the night, not every hour be awake, and
then I'll send Bear up, and then you'll be up during the night.
I won't be though, because the pills knock me out. If there's a fire, I'd be dead. But I actually dream, and that's something I hadn't done for 30 years. And it's good to feel that your mind is active again and not stressed out over having to work every day, you know. I'm coming up on 4 years retired.
I have 3.
Not just tired?
I have 3.
I love it. I am so happy that they forced me to retire because it's the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, I love it.
Retirement is one of the best things in the world.
Yes.
You could do what you want to do, what you like to do.
Yes, and that's what I do every day. If I don't feel like working, I just watch TV or do something. But if I feel motivated, I do scripts or something like that. I've got all kinds of things. And now that I'm dealing with some of these coaches that are telling me the way that I should be doing my stuff to get it out there, I'm making a new plan for 2023. So.
Well, you and I both retired early,
Yes.
and I stopped all ministry for 3 years, and now I'm ready to get back in. So,
whoa,
working at the ARC with druggies and homeless and alcoholics.
Wow. Well, who knows? Maybe I'll be lucky enough to get you when I start doing drugs and alcohol. Maybe hey,
you know what I know about tough love?
I'm afraid of that. I know what I know.
I worked in a prison. I told a guy he was in there for talking suicide, and the captain called me and he says, "I want you to talk to this guy." And I talked to him about 5 minutes. I said, "Let me go show you how to tie that knot." So that'll tell you how I deal with it.
A couple weeks ago, I went in the hospital for low calcium. I was in there for 4 days, and I was so frustrated. I made a comment which I did not intend to follow through on. It was meant as a semi-joke about really wanting to get out of there really bad enough that I'd be like, they said, don't say that because we have to
write it up.
And I said, I don't care. I want out of here now. Christine kept saying, do not say that.
Because you go out AMA, against medical advice.
Oh, okay.
And that limits what you can do in the future.
Well, I was just so frustrated because they took me in on Monday. They figured out what was wrong Monday. They fixed it Monday, and they kept me there till Thursday.
Okay, well, I get it.
And they never really did figure out why I was having this problem with calcium. And then I went through and read all my past history of blood draws and stuff, and I noticed that my calcium is like jumping all over for the past couple years. So it's not just a one-time thing, but it really messed me up because I've never had I never thought that I had a problem with calcium, but calcium can mess you up. It can really scare you too, because I thought I was having another stroke. And I had a stroke in 2012. I've not had any issues since then. So, and the stroke was probably from a chair shot from wrestling. So, I don't know. Anyway, all right, that was Stallone. Then we got, when I was younger, I had a crush on this girl, Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now I really have a crush on her. Drew Barrymore says she's tried everything in the bedroom.
Yes.
Yes.
I read that.
I really like her now.
I was interested.
I like her a whole lot more now.
I hope my wife is not listening to this or watching it.
Well, somehow she caught my eye. I guess she's not.
Has she caught your eye?
No, I still have both of mine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I always thought she was cute, but I always thought she was kind of standoffish, kind of like uppity.
Evidently not.
Yeah, I thought there's no way you would do anything fun with her. But apparently I was wrong about that, and some people apparently know that she does do that stuff. So she's opened my eyes. So when I go out to Hollywood next time, I'm going to have to look her up.
See what you can do, bud.
Hey, I'm the classy one. No one turns me down.
That's not what I heard.
Okay, everyone turns me down. It says here, Drew Barrymore dropped her latest Drew News podcast episode. Oh, maybe I'll have to start listening to that.
Yeah.
And she does have news for you, or rather a confession. The daytime talk show host was chatting about chatting with Ross Matthews about Netflix How to Build a Sex Room when she revealed how much she's experimented in the matters of the bedroom. I hope that means it's just design. But that's got me thinking. I'd like to
I
know.
think that includes chains and whips and.
I hope so. Yeah.
Dan said she was out as bi a long time ago.
Oh. Well, I don't care about the bi thing. I'll take, if she wants to spank me or whatever, she can do that. I'd love that. Oh, she's 47, so she's a little young for me, but still.
She's not jailbait.
Yeah.
She's over 18.
Yeah, she is.
I think my cord's caught over there. No,
Oh.
it's underneath.
Yes,
There we go.
Here we go.
Thank
Keep your cord to yourself.
I'm trying.
Anyway, I just thought that was really interesting that she confessed that.
Keep all hands, feet, and cords to yourself.
Uh-oh. Hey, Tina, before you go, I do not have a band at this point. So things in that arena don't look like it's going to happen in time. So just to let you know.
I am confused, Michael.
Okay. What are you confused about?
Now I undid it. I'm not confused anymore.
Well, that was quick. I could fix your problems. Oh, look who's back. Hi.
Happy Thanksgiving, Tina.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I guess you've been good. I can give you another one. You want to give her one?
Yeah. There you go, baby.
She went for a
She'll love you forever now.
She went for a car. Well, oh, you put it down? You don't want it? You leave it there and it's going to disappear.
Don't worry, Bear. That's too big for Bear.
So my wife and I are talking about getting married, and I said, I just want you to know something. Don't make me choose between my dogs and you.
Ah, yes.
So I'll tell you how I feel about dogs.
Dogs are awesome. That dog there is the sweetest dog. When you were here last time, I had my other dog, and he passed away a couple weeks after you were here.
Really?
Yeah. He had cancer, and he couldn't. It was bad. So she was part of my good thing of last year because, man, things went sour real bad after you left.
Boom, 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 boom.
Things went really bad quickly because when he died, that was hard. I brought the vet in to the house because I wanted him to go here and not be stressed by that. And then 2 weeks later was my mom. She died. Then a month later was Ken. So I had a rough last year.
Mm-hmm.
But here I am, still kicking. And
some people are disappointed by that.
Yeah, well, they're going to be, hopefully, for a long time. But she's been a real good thing for me. She's a sweetheart. And she never barks. She is lovable and loves to be paid attention to. And I got tired of people saying, "What's his name?" So I got her a pink collar.
I thought you said Christine got her the collar.
Don't make me look bad.
Christine got it with your money, right?
No, she got it with her money. See, I'm smart enough to make her pay for the things that I want. Because, I mean, look at her. She's better at it than I am. I didn't get a car out of it.
Hey, I can't help it.
Hey, I'm happy for you. If you're happy with this guy, that's all that matters.
I could tell you something that could not make you like him so much.
Don't ruin the image.
Okay.
He doesn't like trash talking radio.
No, that's not it. What his kids' mother's name, his ex's name is.
Oh, no, we don't need to mention that
Now
one.
I need to know. Just is it Jamie?
No.
Lisa!
Oh, yeah.
How'd you guess?
I've heard of Lisa. You've told me stories.
Yeah,
but it's not the same Lisa, I'll tell you that much.
I can tell
How
you
did you
that
guess that one?
Lisa almost made me give up women altogether. I would not. I mean, after she left.
This is the one that left you laying.
Yes.
By myself with a busted leg. And,
Yep.
Yeah, that was the worst I've ever had. I mean, I would prefer women to treat me like dirt compared to what Lisa treated me like. And she even comes in my chat room and just spews garbage when she does. And just, I don't know what her problem is.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, she's a guy. She hates her.
Yeah, and I didn't do anything.
Because Trish and Jen were both taking turns fucking me. According to her. In her fantasy. In her fantasy world. And I'm like...
Even when she wasn't talking to
I wasn't talking to her for 3 months because of Lisa, because I figured I want to know whether or not Lisa's a true psychopath. She proved she's a true psychopath. And she like tried to break up with me a month after I broke up with her. I was like,
I remember that. Yeah, we were talking.
It's like, okay. And at that point, she is the one that caused me to go on Plenty of Fish so I could just swipe left on every woman. Every woman. I just went in there. It didn't hurt anybody. It just made me feel better. And I was swiping left, swiping left, swiping left, swiping left. Then I saw Christine, and I was like, oh, what do I do now? I like her. She's smiling, and she looks cute, and I love her. And I thought, well, I didn't love her at that point. Because,
I know.
But I was like...
You became infatuated.
So I finally turned the program off and thought, I'm just going to let it go. And then I thought, I got angry again. I thought, okay, a couple days later, I started swiping left again. I was like, she showed up again. I'm like, stop showing up. Then I turned it off again. I swiped. Then I turned it on a couple days later, and she was the first person that came up. And I thought, okay, I got to make a decision here. I can't be swiping
left
on her, or unless that's it. I thought, well, okay, she's an hour and a half away. It's not going to go anywhere. There's no way it's going to go anywhere. So I thought, I like her smile. And that's all it was. It was her smile. So I thought, okay, I'm going to swipe right. She's going to be...
the only one.
She's going to be like, okay, you're an hour and a half away, so she's just going to swipe. She's just going to not even respond. Because usually if you go on there, people would say hi to me, and I'd say hi back to them.
And then they won't say
anything. And they wouldn't say anything. What was the point of saying hi to me if you're not going to talk to me? Anyway, so I swiped right, and then you got mail. And I'm like, who did I get mail from? And I looked and I said, now I'm stuck. I committed to something. So I thought, wouldn't hurt to go on a date. Let's just go on a date. I haven't been out with a girl for a while. It's been like, I said I wasn't going to go out with any more girls forever. Forever is about 6 months, okay? Just in case you were wondering how long forever is. It's about 6 months. And so the forever was up, and so I went out and took her out on a date, and then I left her, and we went out to eat and everything, and I went home and thought that would be it. But I kept going back to her because that smile. She has this great smile. And
I hope to meet her soon.
She's up there probably now.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
I'll get to meet her tonight?
Yeah, I think she is. I thought I heard her up
Well,
there.
she said she was going to go to Baltimore tonight, but I think she changed her mind, so I think she's going to go tomorrow. But, yeah, she's a wonderful woman. She's just...
Any woman that can put up with you, I got to meet.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, she's getting government benefits for...
And she likes guys on motorcycles.
She gets supplements from the government to take care of me.
I don't know.
Oh, I got it. He's the exception. Not
Yeah.
He gets hazard pay, right?
Hazard pay, that's it. Plus, you know, I think we're a good pair. I think that
I'm happy for you.
She's a great woman.
I'll tell you, there's so many things about her that remind me of Pam.
Yes. A lot of things.
Especially in the face.
I don't even think I don't even look at it that way. Just her...
No, but I'm
Personality.
saying...
Her personality...
From
her-
the outside looking in, this is what I'm seeing is... That's why you're so happy, because of the similarities to Pam.
Maybe. I'm just... I never thought I'd be happy with a woman again. I just thought that this was it for me. I was just going to be one of those mean old men, get off my grass type guys that, you know... I just...
Except for when you're mowing it.
Yeah. Well, I've got someone to do that now. She has a need next year and when it starts growing again. So, but anyway.
She's got a sugar daddy. She doesn't need that now.
I know. I've lost my...
But I'll have my own car, so he can't...
When you get that running, we can do some of the stuff I need to do upstairs.
Okay.
I would like to organize that.
Speaking of the person,
Who was speaking?
he just texted me, Mom.
Oh, Antoine.
Oh, tell him I said hi.
Okay.
I never met him.
Tell him I said hi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doug said hi too.
I'll just tell him everybody here says hi.
Not everyone. She didn't say hi.
I did. I
You did?
said everybody.
Oh, okay. Cheyenne didn't say hi. She's too busy.
Wait a minute. Come on. Steelton woman who dodged murder charge sentenced for role in fatal burglary. What have
What
you
did you
been
do?
doing?
I'm innocent. Remember, I'm the one with the angel costume.
No. All right. Anyway, where were we? Oh, we were Drew
Sorry, I just had to do that.
Barrymore. Okay. Now let's get back to. By the way, most of those were Cirillo
Yeah,
stories.
we know.
He's been really pumping stories through, which made it real easy for me to do my stuff and still have show stuff. Now I added to it, but this was interesting. I saw this and I didn't do this one. He did this one. I was not going to do this one. Then he sent it. I thought, okay, he sent it. So, okay, Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson did that one, and Black Panther. He laughs off the Black Panther versus Black Adam box office comparison. We're new babies and have to grow. The Black Adam was a really wild movie. I'm assuming you didn't see it. It's an anti-superhero movie. Black Adam didn't want to be a good guy. He didn't want to be a superhero, and he kept being forced to be a superhero. And it was just interesting. I liked the way they did it because it wasn't I want to be loved by all the people. He didn't have that. He didn't want to be loved by all the people. He just wanted to do whatever he had to do. It was just really. I thought it was a good movie. You saw it too, right? What did you think of it?
I liked it. I really did.
What was your impression of it? Was it basically the same thing, or
Yeah.
It was really well done, and that's a DC character, of course, and Black Panther is a Marvel character. So
I haven't seen Black
We're not going to see those two crossing paths, but and for those that didn't see the movie, oh, you didn't see the movie?
No. Wait a minute. I'll plug my ears. Hold on.
This is the new Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
The guy that you can take. The guy that played the Black Panther died of colon cancer shortly after the first one was. So they had to crown a new Black Panther, and they really did a good job of.
Remember the promos.
Yes, and it was really interesting how they spent probably about 15 minutes of the beginning of the movie was getting everybody caught up and having the funeral for the Black Panther and all that, and then the rest of the movie was figuring out who the new Black Panther was. But it was well done. I thought that for sure it wasn't who I thought it was going to be. I really thought it was. You didn't see either of them, so I'm not going to go into it. But the guy I thought it was going to be would have been a good choice, but I see why they did what they did, and it's okay. They don't have to agree with me to do it my way, but it was really well done. This weekend is Survivor Series. Of course, I got to get a little bit of wrestling in, even though I don't talk about wrestling on this show too much.
Oh, Survivor, not the show?
Wrestling.
Survivor Series?
She's talking something else.
I thought you were talking about the show, too.
Oh.
I'm watching it this year.
You're going to watch Survivor Series?
Not Survivor Series.
Survivor.
Oh, Survivor. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's
now.
what I thought.
Okay, you lost me on that. Now you got me. Okay, this is going to be interesting because Survivor Series is it's ready to go. It's going to be now. I remember back in the '80s, they used to have wrestling events on the holidays. On Thanksgiving, they used to have the giant WCW events and WWE events, and they don't do that anymore. Now they just do it a little bit later, like that weekend. So, but it's going to be interesting. They've set up some good, and AEW had an event last Saturday. It was pretty good, but yeah.
He says hello to everyone.
Okay, hello. But anyway, I'll probably be watching that this weekend. Now the next thing. This is the big thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about this. So I went to New York. My friend David Drumgold. Did you watch the movie To Woo Vung with Love back in the 80s? It had Patrick Swayze in it. It had Wesley Snipes in it.
I probably did then, because I like Snipes.
They played drag queens.
Okay.
David Drumgold was in that movie.
Really?
And he's a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. He has a variety show at the Mack Center up in New York, the Manhattan Arts Center. And he had it last Wednesday, and he wanted me to come. He originally was going to have me perform at this show, at this variety show, but then we lost contact because he was overseas and doing a movie over in England or something. Anyway, he is my closest friend that's famous. Well, famous is relative, but the closest friend I have in acting right now that's working. That's the best way I can say it. David is a great guy. I love David. He's fantastic. Anyway, he asked me to show up at this, and I did. Last Wednesday night, I was in New York City, in Manhattan, parked in a parking garage with my new car, and I walked to the Manhattan Center.
That was scary.
It was a little scary because they parked those real close together. And there's a parking garage right next to this Manhattan Arts Center. And I went in there, and I was willing to pay for a ticket. The tickets were like $35 a piece. And anyway, he let me in free, and it's good because I was thinking about how much it costs to go through the tunnel and all the different. It would have run a little bit of money there, but I went to this thing. And by the way, it cost me with my new car 10 cents a mile.
Wow! Don't say that.
Why? It's a good.
Don't say that.
Yeah, but I spent $125,000 so I could save all that gas money.
You're independently wealthy, so it doesn't.
What if I was dependently wealthy? Would that make a difference? Besides, I'm just making up for lost time.
True.
When I was poor.
For those of you that don't know, Mike, he was poor.
Yeah,
His
when
bedroom was a van with no heat.
I had heat.
You had heat?
Kerosene heater.
Kerosene heater.
Yeah. So I had all the things you need, food, when I had money, and people would give me money or give me food. Anyway, so I went to this thing, and it was really kind of cool. And the event, the place in Manhattan is awesome. It's a beautiful place. So I'm going to be performing in the spring for him, and I took some great pictures, good pictures. I took some pictures. That's David, and he's talking. This is pre-show. He had 5 tables set up for the special guests, which I was one of those, and I was sitting, as you can tell, right here. He had some great talent that was playing there. There's the room. There I am. And you can see behind me.
The theater.
The theater. It's a really beautiful place. This guy here, I've never seen anyone play a piano like that guy plays. He blew away anything I would have ever imagined. The guy was awesome. He just... if you've ever seen I have pianist envy because this guy is so good. I mean, he just blew me away on how good he was. That was the set for showing. This is the tables that the special guest, he was dressed real nice. He was talking about his mother who just died of COVID. I think it was last year sometime. And he couldn't even get through it because he started crying. I get that. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
The first act was this trio here playing jazz and stuff, and they were really, really good. He had people doing so many different things, but that was really cool. I can't remember the last time I saw a stand-up bass player, and they were really, really awesome. And so I can't remember their names, unfortunately.
The Jazzy Trio.
And he's okay. So they started playing one of the songs, and he came up and he said, "This was my mom's favorite song ever." So he was going to try to sing along, and he couldn't remember the words. But then he just talked through it a little bit, and just talked about how much he loved his mom. I wish I could relate to that. I mean, I wish that I could feel that kind of closeness that people have with their families. My sister and I feel we're pretty close now, but all my life I really feel that I never understood the bond. This guy here is a magician and comedy guy from Brazil or something like that. He had a strong accent. And he was doing this this magic trick with these two people, and they were out of the audience, and he handpicked them. Well, he picked them out of the audience. Anyway, at the end of the thing, he handed them back their watches because he took their watches off of them at the very, very beginning of the thing. He pickpocketed their watches while they were wearing them. Now, this guy says that he realized it when he took it off, but she didn't, and there was one other person, she didn't even notice it. He noticed it, and the other guy didn't say whether or not he noticed it, but it was really cool. And he did this really cool act with them, and he did this thing where she was going to be the transceiver and he was going to be the receiver, and when you see what he's wearing, it's kind of funny. He's wearing this. Anyway, it was really funny, and they did the whole act and thing, and it was a really kind of a neat thing. She is a transgender woman, and she is really got a good voice, and she did a song that it reminded me of vaudeville type thing, and it was really interesting. Her name was Julia, and she sang this song. I can't even remember the name of this. Well, I think it was a spoof on a song that was out there, but that piano player was playing with her. And so anyway, she did a nice song. This guy, I was speechless. He's dressed like Little Boy Blue. I don't know how to explain it to you. It was entertaining for some people.
But not for you.
It's not my cup of tea, and you'll see why in a second.
Yes, okay.
I
get it.
Okay, so it was a little more than I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Okay, next was him playing his own thing, and he was really, really good. I mean, this guy just played like, Then he did a tribute to his mother. That's her at a young age. And that's her right before she died, and it was really sweet and really nice. And
yeah, I would never give a tribute to my mother. We weren't that close. We weren't close. I loved her.
I loved your mother too.
But we weren't close.
I thought your mother was very special and very, very strong. And
she was a strong woman.
Yes, she was. I understand where you get your strength from, because she was.
Me, it's my mom.
Yeah, and anyway, these guys here, they did some songs together and pop songs, and they actually were very, very good. They harmonized really well and did a really good job. They were the JW Singers or something like that, but they did a really good job. So this is David talking about the whatever they were talking about. I don't even remember. But they were good. I don't know why I did that, other than trying to get an idea of how many audience members there were. This is a star from the 80s. She did disco and stuff like that. Her name is Linda Clifford. And she did this song called Red Light. She did If My Friends Could See Me Now, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Runaway Love, and Red Light. She is 77. No. Yeah, I think, 77. And she was awesome. She doesn't look like this right now. She looks more like this. But she still looks pretty good for a 77-year-old woman.
Nice for 70.
And she sang her heart out. And that woman was awesome. She, I got to meet her, and actually David said something about maybe having me do a duet with her in the spring.
Oh, that's cool.
And maybe doing a duet with him as well. By the way, I said to him, if I do a duet with you, I want to do the Elton John song, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Because that was an LGBT crowd.
Yeah.
And that would be fun. But even with her, I would do it with her because I think it'd be fun. But I want to do Love Is Love because that's my big song. I want to play the video in the background and sing with it. They were doing 3 songs each, so I figured I'd do a duet with somebody, or maybe do a duet with both of them, and then do my Love Is Love song at the end. But yeah, it was fun. It was there were a lot of people there, and there she is. She just was really, she loved it. She just had a good time. And that guy did not put his clothes back on, by the way. It was a good night, and it was worth driving that.
I'm into everything but him.
Yeah, that was a little. It was a little too much. There's the pianist. But it was a good show. I enjoyed the show. I really had surprisingly, I didn't think I'd like the show because it was a variety show, and I thought it's going to be a lot of stuff music I didn't really like, but it really was good. It was good from beginning to end. So, and he sold a lot of tickets. There she is again. He called her out for an encore. So it was definitely a fun show.
Glad you went, Mike.
Yeah, so am I. Oh, and then at the end he came out as a clown, and so she just she was definitely into it, but I couldn't imagine she was a real star, and she came from Texas just to be on this show.
Just feel the stage again.
She goes on tour.
Oh, does she?
Yeah, that's my friend Sid. Sid. She came from Philadelphia. She used to work for the rail company, so she gets free train everywhere she wants to go.
Nice.
And there's me and David. Then he had his balloons in the back. It was fun. So, but that was a good time. It was definitely, but Linda's really actually, she's a former Miss New York State and fronted jazz music trio before switching to R&B. After winning her title, Clifford worked as an actress, playing minor roles in films such as The Boston Strangler with Tony Curtis and Henry Fonda, Coogan's Bluff with Clint Eastwood, Sweet Charity with Shirley MacLaine. Unsatisfied with her roles, she decided to concentrate on singing, performed for a year in Miami nightclubs as Jericho Jazz Singers before starting her own group, which was Linda and the Trade Winds. In 1973, she was signed to Paramount Records, and her first single, it's going to be a long winner. It was a minor hit in the United States. She moved to Curtis Mayfield's custom, was that? Curtain, I don't know, records. In the mid-70s, she released her first album, Linda, and in 1976, her dance cover of If My Friends Could See Me Now was a hit in clubs and Billboard Hot 100. It was her first #1 on Billboard Dance Chart. Her album of the same name became the most successful and included Runaway Love, a mid-tempo R&B track that proved to be her most recognizable tunes. She released her disco version of Bridge Over Troubled Water from the album Let Me Be Your Woman. And in 1980, she released a duet with Curtis Mayfield, The Right Combination, and she recorded Red Light. Red Light was in the Fame soundtrack. So,
Really?
yes, that was her big claim to fame. So, it was cool. It was awesome. I really enjoyed talking to her and seeing her and all that. And it was fun. So, who knows? Maybe I'll be the next big star to come out of that thing. So, all right. Now we can go to news, to the main show. I wondered why it took my car so long to get here. It took me a year to get my car. Cargo ship carrying thousands of luxury cars to the U.S. sinks in the Atlantic Ocean. Well, my car was built in Texas. It says it was built in Texas. But, yeah, that's crazy thinking about that, man. How much money was on that cargo ship? That could be why a lot of them were short, but, I mean, parts were a problem for most of the cars. That's why mine took so long, because of the part shortage. But, yeah, if you were waiting for your car and then you find out it's at the bottom of the ocean, you can get it if you want to drive in, go get it. And that's got to be, think of the insurance claim.
Mine have drove the insurance company back
Oh, man. That's crazy.
because they're betting those things don't happen.
What are the chances? You know? It says a cargo ship carrying luxury cars from Germany to the United States. So it's probably Volkswagen, Porsche, and all that. Sank Tuesday at the Atlantic. 13 days after a fire broke out on board, the ship's manager and Portuguese Navy said that all happened. The cars on board, the Felicity Ace, included Porsche, Lamborghinis, and Bentleys. That's going to be a real expensive problem there. Volkswagen, which said last week the damage to the vehicles was covered by insurance, confirmed the ship had sank. Insurance experts said the incident could result in losses of $155 million. I would have thought it would have been higher than that.
I thought it would have been higher, too.
The Felicity sank about 250 miles off the Portugal Azores Islands as it was being towed.
Azores.
What is it?
Azores.
Azores. But, yeah, that's crazy to think about that. The good news is your car is on a ship coming over here. The bad news is it's at the bottom of the ocean.
So go fish.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's talk about my new car for a second. So I got my new car on October 26th. I got to drive it twice before I went into hospital. Anyway, it's now November 22nd. I am still getting questions as to where the payoff is for my first car. Now, the payoff for my first car was about it was $10,500, which I paid in a certified check per their request. And I couldn't have gotten my new car unless I paid that. So I got the check, I paid them, and I got my new car, and I'm driving my new car and enjoying my new car, and I'm getting these emails constantly. We want this payment. The payment is due for this car. And I wrote them back and I said, you realize I couldn't have got my new car unless I paid the old one off, right? Shouldn't you be checking with the Devon Tesla dealership, asking them where the check is? Because they released the new car to me, so they probably know where the check is. By the way, the check was cashed 10/28. 2 days later, I got the copy of the check today or yesterday. But still, they still are sending me these, you're past due, you're past due. I'm not past due. They cashed the check. I am not past due. It's not my fault you don't have an idea where the check is because your people deposited the check. Look in there. There's got to be an amount there for that amount. But anyway, they're, of course, threatening me because they don't see the payment. So I sent an email. I sent a Twitter to Elon Musk saying, your people suck. And I explained as briefly as I can, as Twitter can allow me, why their people suck. Because they're harassing me over a check that I paid a month ago. Anyway.
Hey, by the way, is it part of the recall? Because
no.
A lot of my stuff is recall.
It is not.
Okay.
My car is awesome. This car, there's something I found a couple days ago. There's a, okay, I can get Hulu, YouTube, there's Twitch.
Paramount Plus?
There's like, no, there were only initially 6 stations I can get on my, while I'm charging, I can watch these stations. Well, I found there's a new way that I can get Peacock and all these other ones. It's called a better something. But anyway, I found this. It includes Peacock, so I can watch, like most of the stuff I watch is Peacock anyway, because they have all this old wrestling stuff on there, and because they own pretty much the programming of WWE now, because they made some kind of deal with them. But it's really cool. I can watch virtually anything I want to watch now on this because it gives me a link to bypass that and get it. So it's
Does it have
cool.
a fireplace like the other one did?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's much more advanced than that one though. This car is just unbelievable. I mean, I got full self-driving. I'm still waiting to be approved for the full self-driving because I want to do that, learn how that works. I do know how it works for the most part, but the full self-driving, it's cool because it sees traffic lights and it stops. It sees stop signs. You can, if you're driving and there's, let's say this lane is right turn only, this lane is right turn, and then this lane is straight or turn or whatever, it all comes up because it scans the road as you're going too, and it tells you. So if you're trying to figure out which lane you got to be in, it shows it all on the screen. It's really cool. It does a lot more than the other one does. Because I was like feeling bad because I was giving up my other car after 4 years, on a 3-year lease. I was really feeling bad. I was thinking, I'm going to miss this car, but nope, not going to miss this car. It's a whole lot better, and I drove to New York, and most of the way back on one charge. I had to stop and get a charge, a little bit of a charge, but it did really well. It does 360 miles to the charge. So.
Which is almost exactly what my car does on gas.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that's really cool about it, because like I should have another car next year called an Aptera, and that's gets 1,000 miles to the charge. And the reason I bought it is it gets 1,000 miles to the charge, because when I got to go to an event in Atlanta, I don't have to stop for charging.
When you come out to visit us in Cincinnati,
that too.
Come the whole way.
And even actually, I probably would have to stop for a little bit of a charge. This one charges a lot quicker too. I can do about 250 miles in 15 minutes is what it came out to. So it's fast. It does charge fast. So usually I like to charge. I usually have to stop every 3 hours to go to the bathroom or something. So that actually works in its favor. And the biggest thing is it was taken, like when I took my last car down to Atlanta, it took me probably 2 hours extra to get there because I had to stop extra. This car here, I could do it in probably one full charge. I could get halfway there in one full charge and then the rest of the way on. So I could probably get there on one charge, having to stop once, maybe twice.
So I want to know, when you get the Aptera, where you're going to park it.
I'm giving the Jeep away because the Jeep can't be fixed. So I was going to sell it for parts, but I'm at this point. I'm at a point where I'm ready to give it to somebody just to get it out of the garage. So that's where the car's going. Well, actually, the Aptera would be better outside because it's got solar panels and it would charge off the solar panels. But it also has a Tesla charge port.
Oh boy!
So that's good because I have a Tesla charger out there. So they're trying to make Tesla the standard. That form, because I want them to be the standard too.
Well, it's going to cost a lot less to make them the standard.
Yes.
To compete.
And the thing is, they have already 150,000 chargers out there or something like that. You know, it would be a lot better to do that and let someone else. The problem is Biden doesn't like Tesla, and he's giving all these tax incentives to
Biden doesn't like Musk.
Yes. And so he's given all these tax incentives to everybody else to try to let them. But already Rivian, which is Ford, I think, is doing a partnership with Rivian. They lost they lost $17 billion this year. 17 billion. I think I have that in my stories. It's either 1.7 or 17 billion. For some reason, I think it's 17 billion. Why don't we look? Let's find out. How much money did Rivian lose? $5 billion. Okay, so it's between those two. $5 billion.
That's still nothing to laugh at. That's a lot of money.
Lost 1.7 just the third quarter.
1.7 billion.
That's a lot of money to lose, and Tesla is making money. There's a lot of competitors out there now, but the bottom line is that Tesla has a product that's true and tried out there. GM made a product where they had to bring back every single bolt that they sold because they were catching fire. And Rivian is losing money. But Tesla lost money in the beginning, but they've got that, you know, what they did was they took all the incentives that were out there and they turned that into money. They took the incentives and they sold their incentives to other companies, like when they used their incentives that they had overseas. There were companies that didn't have any EVs, and they had to have an EV by this certain date, or they were being fined. So they sold Teslas on their lot, or bought Tesla's incentives, and turned that around. So Tesla sold their incentives for more money than the incentive was, so that they could stay alive, and now they can make it on their own stance. And they had all kinds of incentives to stay around, so they're still around and making money now.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, Amazon. Here it is. Amazon's one of the holders of it. They lost $3.9 billion.
I don't know what you think of Musk, but he's a genius.
I love Musk. I think he's awesome. He came in when PayPal wasn't going to make it and turned that company around. And people were saying, why would you build a hole in the ground for people to drive through? You're going to lose so much money. They're making money at that now. SpaceX, I mean, everything he touches.
And he's going to turn Twitter around.
And when he does it, I want him to get my stock back in line, because I'm losing money in my stock because he took a dive on that stock. But I should buy it at the rate that it's at right now, because Tesla stock is at a lowest I've ever seen it, because he had taken he didn't have any money per se to buy the Twitter, so he sold his stock. So everybody bailed on the stock because he bailed on the stock. Well, he didn't bail on the stock. He sold some of his stock off. Could you imagine selling that much stock just to buy Twitter? I mean, that's crazy.
54. Is it 44 or 54 billion?
It was 44 billion. Just crazy. But anyway, where was I? All right, I was talking about the cargo ship. Okay, next.
So with all the money that I invested in Upterra, does that mean I own 2 of your lug nuts? New car?
You own nothing. You own nothing. And you're going to like it.
You own the thought.
Yeah, okay, okay.
You have my gratitude.
Yeah, I better.
I spent a whole lot more money on their stock than you did.
That's true.
But that's a stock that is worth looking at right now because nobody else does 1,000 miles to the charge. And I bought it at $3.80 a share or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what
and
I
I bought a lot, and she bought a lot too for her.
Yeah, for me. Well, from what I was just reading, it's up to like $10.50 a share now.
Yeah. So I got money coming there. As soon as they go public, it'll even be better because people are gonna. I see that stock going up to easily. Let's say it goes to $100 a share, and that would be small. That would be chump change. At $3.80 a share, I think I made my money.
I think you made your one too.
So if I sold mine, if I'm doing this correctly, I made about $5,000.
So somebody's going to buy them, I think, for the technology. And I thought Tesla would buy them. I still think Tesla might buy them. You just don't know. Because, I mean, they would like the solar technology that they have on their cars. They can generate 40 to 45 miles a day on solar, just so you never would have to plug it in, because most people don't drive more than 40 miles a day. So that could be, that's my, now when I get that car, I'll come out to see you every day if I want. I can, but
Well, I do want you to come out.
I do want to come out. And now that I've got my act together a little bit, it'll be a little easier to do.
Okay.
So, and actually, like I'm hoping I get this roll down in Atlanta. I'll be getting, it's like I'll be making like $1,000 a week or something, maybe more than that. I think $1,200 a week or something to stay down in Atlanta for 2 weeks.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and I get my name on the marquee. So, you know, it's like little by little I'm learning this industry. So, anyway, all right. So, what's next?
How far are you from Waverly?
Down in that area, I think. That's south. No, Waverly is not where she's at anymore.
No.
She's down by, Waverly is up in north. No, wait.
I have friends that live in Waverly.
Why?
And I just want to know how.
Why would anybody live there?
Well, they
Why
do.
would anybody live in Ohio?
Well, they do. I mean, they're planning on relocating back to Pennsylvania.
Waverly might be south, because I think maybe that's where Tanners live.
Okay.
I want to say Waverly. That might be south.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe that is south. That might be where you are.
Well, I only know the Cincinnati area in northern Kentucky, so.
Waverly, yeah. Trying to look to see if that is south or not. So, trying to see, where is this? This is...
Chillicothe, yeah, it's towards the south end of
Yeah,
Chillicothe.
right here's where it is.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's south. Where are you at?
Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati.
I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to come out. I've been thinking about when I'll be getting out that way. But yeah, that's why that takes you so long to get here, because you're south.
Oh yeah.
Because whenever whenever the Tanners come out here, it takes them a long time to get here.
Yeah, well, I know it took Mary about 8 hours to get here.
Where's she from?
Waverly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it takes. That's what
Yeah.
it takes me, 8 hours.
Okay. All right. Here's a weird one. Okay, so a guy found a $4 million check in a bag that he bought at a store.
What was the year? 1892?
A $4 million check?
Yeah, if he found it. It might have been that old.
No, it's not that old.
Oh.
Actually, it was done in overseas, so it wasn't dollars. It was actually it came out to 4 million American dollars. So he bought this Haribo, yeah,
Haribo.
Haribo. It was
The gummy bears.
yeah. It says a German man who found a lost check worth more than $4 million inside a bag of Sweet
Haribo.
Giants is disappointed with the company's cheap reward.
What they do, give him a bag of Haribo gummy bears?
You're really close.
I think it was like 2.
No, he got 6, I think it was.
Yeah.
He was sent a box of gummies valued at just over $6 for returning a $4 million check. He was less than happy for it.
Oh, I would be too.
But they go good in trash can Sundays.
Yes, but I also know somebody
I think what
who
I
likes
would
those,
have
but
done is put the check in a safety deposit box and waited for the offer to keep going.
There you go.
yeah,
But the thing is, the check could have easily been canceled and
He would have.
he wouldn't have anything. So, I mean, it's kind of sad but true, and the guy was greedy. I mean, I guess. I mean, I would have wanted more than that too. But
right.
But the 38-year-old was sent a box containing 6 bags of candies several days later, which he thought was cheap. The representative of Haribo's disagreed, telling local media outlets, "Nobody but our company could have redeemed it. It was a named check. It was our standard package that we send as a thank you." So, the German company is one of the few.
Then they should have
Okay, but
hand-delivered
a standard thing, right? Okay, but this was a $4 million check. You couldn't have.
They should have hand-delivered it on the red carpet.
I mean,
Yeah.
I personally say that they, if they had a $4 million check, they could have given them a little more than that. But
And I'm not even talking about hand delivering. Like, come on, Mom.
but maybe he's being a little greedy because after all, the check was really worthless. They couldn't have cashed. It doesn't matter who would have gotten the check.
Well, how
they
do we
could have
know
cashed
that
it.
he didn't put extra zeros on it?
He's not you.
No, this is the one who's on vacation for 2 weeks.
She didn't get paid for it. You got her zeros.
I know.
So, I think it's funny though. But
It's
people,
sick leave. I took my sick leave.
yeah, that's it.
Sick in the head leave.
Yeah, she took her boyfriend leave.
I was legitly sick last week.
Okay, yeah. So
That's what they all say.
I was sick too. Yeah. Let's see here. For direct. Oh, okay. This here. There are some people that didn't get their money from the free giveaway money that our government gives away. For direct payments of up to $6,700 available to millions of Americans
I
before
knew
the
I
holidays.
missed something.
See if you can claim the cash.
Some people are still waiting on their tax return.
Well, some people wouldn't have done things that would hold it
It
up.
wasn't him.
Why would they hold it up?
Well, he had to get his identity thing straightened out, which he did.
That's what Superman said too.
And now it's like, okay. And they won't tell us where we need to go to restart everything because we filed by paper like they ask us to.
Well, it says here there are direct payments people can claim before Christmas, and it can be as much as $6,728. There's a child tax credit that you can get. That's it was $3,600, but set to come down to $2,000 for this year. There's an estimated income tax credit. It's $1,500 with no children. $3,600 for people with one child, $5,900 for people with two children, and $67 for three children. So get your rental of kids if you can. A recovery rebate credit. Maximum credit for one claim is $1,400, and $1,400 for each eligible child or adult dependent. Temporary assistance for needy families. There's apparently it's the TANF program. It was assisting. TANF. I didn't. Yeah. It was created to assist families with children who cannot provide for their family's basic needs.
It's welfare for people with children who make more money than what welfare.
Okay. So if you didn't get your money and you are qualified, definitely claim it. So, all right, next. Oh, this would be me if I had kids. North Carolina boy, 9, was allegedly forced to live in outdoor dog cage for months. Apparently, they got caught. The best thing is don't get caught. That's the way I look at it. I think all kids should live outside.
I knew I shouldn't have done that to Andre.
Just because you did doesn't mean other kids should.
It would be good for you. You just learn to survive. It's survival tactics. I mean, I wasn't 9. I mean, but I did live without running water in a bathroom at 9.
If you lived in a dog cage, I'd have brought you dog food.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. The kid had it made. The boy's parents are a great aunt and are being, the boy's parents and a great aunt are being held for $1 million bond each. And, I mean, these people look like great outstanding citizens.
Yes.
The parents and the great aunt of a 9-year-old boy who was discovered inside a dog cage was charged with multiple counts of neglect and abuse. And on Monday, a grand jury issued 19 indictments to Sarah and Jonathan Starr and Sarah's aunt, Shelley Barnes, who owns the Lexington, North Carolina home where the boy was discovered. So maybe they didn't know he was there.
Could be.
The kid walked into the cage and got caught. Sarah was charged with 11 counts, including negligence and child abuse. Jonathan was charged with multiple counts of negligence and child abuse, and their bond was set at $1 million each. And Barnes was charged with 5 counts, including an assault on a child and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Her bond was only $300,000.
Wow.
So that tells you that that's the crime you should be doing. So I just think it's weird to think about keeping a 9-year-old in a cage. That's
So I'd go over to get Mike. I'd go over to pick him up. And I'd open up the back of the van he was living in, and there'd be 750 blankets.
That's not true. You're
5
exaggerating.
kerosene heaters.
No, that's.
And if you want to know, why his mind is the way it is, it's sucking in all that kerosene for all this shit.
Well, everybody should do that. Look at me, I'm alive. I outlived all the Bechtel males.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a good thing. It's like people tell me you shouldn't be drinking so much of the Diet Pepsi; it'll kill you.
You're still alive.
I'm living on borrowed time as far as I'm concerned. I was supposed to die at 50, so my brother made it to 52 or 53. 52, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was 52.
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm happy. I'm actually, my blood pressure was 110/66.
Yeah, I don't see that even on medication.
And that is so weird. And I'm not on, the only thing I'm on is Percocet.
That means you have no stress.
Well, that's true. I've got Zen. I have Zen here. My life is pretty good now that I don't have to work. I'm really, and actually my knees are better.
My blood pressure came down when I quit early.
Yeah. My knees have been better. I've had knee problems ever since
Wrestling.
I hit 50, and my shoulders aren't as bad. My still have problems with my back, but that's
Even
not
with
going
the cold?
It's not as bad as it usually is, but then again, I've lost like 30 pounds this year. So I don't know. I'm just happy that I'm still holding up. And it's funny because like my one girlfriend used to tell me you shouldn't use Bluetooth. That's going to give you ear cancer or something weird like that, or brain cancer. I used Bluetooth when I was working. I had a Bluetooth in my ear all day because I listened to music all day. So I don't know. These people that talk about, all these different things, and I think a lot of people like to make things up, and because it makes them feel better.
Just think what they said about microwave ovens.
Yeah.
All proved to be not true.
Yep.
And then Wi-Fi.
Yep. And the 6G.
6G.
Where it's causing COVID. What? Where do these people come up with this stuff? Like, think of the most abstract thing, and that's the next rumor. It's crazy. So, anyway, so that poor boy is stuck in a... Well, he's not in a cage now, I guess. Now his family's in the cage. Now where's he going to go? He's going to have to live in foster homes.
Well, if the other Cirillo doesn't straighten up, I'm going to put him in a cage.
The other Cirillo?
Well, not this one.
Oh, that's... I was going to say, don't put him in a cage.
No, not that one. That's why I said the other Cirillo.
Okay.
As long as you feed me.
All right.
If you start to bark, I'll get worried.
Okay.
I forget what that story was. I forget what that story is. Oh, this was good. I'd like to see Cheyenne with this one. A rhino sneaks up on a sleeping dog. Personally, if I saw a rhino coming after me, I'd be pretending I'm dead. But I don't know that the dog was pretending he was dead. He was just
taking a nap.
But it does look kind of suspicious that this dog is laying there like that, just teasing the rhino.
Rhino was just trying to be friendly.
Well, this dog is very friendly, and she has anxiety issues. Like if I leave like when I left for New York and came back, I think I was here at 2:30 in the morning when I got back, and you might as well just lay down, let her get it over with, because she's gonna like when I'm laying down, she'll lay right next to me with her paws right on my chest, and that dog is 110 pounds. I'm not getting up, but she'll just lay there and she'll look at me and have her big paws on me and stuff. It's funny. She's a good dog.
She loves you, buddy.
Oh, she does. She does love me. That dog. I mean, I saved her from. She was in the Humane Society for 9 months. That's the second time. The first time she was in, I don't know how long. Someone took her and brought her back, and I took her and she was pesty in the very beginning. She was taking stuff that wasn't hers. I was like, oh, geez, I got to get her to calm down. And then I got Christine, and she didn't understand because she never had a dog. I was saying, look, she's just a puppy. She's not a puppy. She's 3 years old. I said, yeah, but she's going through the puppy phase. And she takes things she's not supposed to. Now she's perfect. She doesn't take anything she's not supposed to take. When I say perfect, I mean she's better. But she's a really good dog, and the problem is she has anxiety issues. I got to take her to the vet on Friday, so I'm supposed to feed her these pills to mellow her out before I take her, because I took her in to get her shots, and she was just so hyper, she wouldn't calm down. But when she gets to know you, she calms down. But she didn't. I think the problem was it was the first time I was taking her to the vet, and she was afraid I was going to leave her there, because that's what happened to her last time. And I love that dog a lot. I mean, she helped me get through a really rough time.
That's another reason why I like you. You're a dog person.
I love dogs. I've always had dogs. There was only a short period of time between when I was in college and my first wife where I didn't have a dog. That's the only time I didn't have a dog. And then we had a dog towards the end of our relationship, and I got the dog in the divorce. I was willing to give her the dog and move in with Bowski and Vi, and she said, no, I don't want to live here. You can have the dog, and you can have the place. And I said, okay, it's fine. Worked for me.
I'll ask you questions when I have questions with Bear. If I can't get a hold of Dr. Moore, I'll ask Dr. Trash.
Well, first off, you gave it the wrong name. It's a Chihuahua named Bear.
I didn't name him.
My part Chihuahua is named Nellie.
I did not name him.
I would name it Rat.
It was Bear after the Hershey Bears.
She has the sharpest bark.
See,
Goes
my
right
dog.
through your head.
My dog doesn't have a bark. She is so funny like that. It's funny when I walk her, when I leave her in the car and I have to go somewhere, I now hear her cry when I walk away. But she doesn't bark. She doesn't bite. When I play with her, she will put her, but she will never clamp down.
Taco.
Huh? Taco, yeah. That would be good. But yeah, that dog is just, she's the greatest dog. I couldn't really see another dog. Anyway, let's see here. Here we go. Here's the video of, let's see if we can get this. Dog says, what?
He didn't know what it was.
If I saw a rhino like that, I'd be rolling too.
Oh, my goodness.
Wait, is there another dog down there?
And it's
Or
leaving
is that the same?
too.
Yeah, I'd be leaving too. It's just funny. I don't know what country they're in, but there aren't too many rhinos walking our streets.
Maybe Africa.
Let's see if they tell me. Indian Forest Service in Susata, Nanda.
Can you say that in English, please?
Yes. That's just crazy. That crazy. Oh man, I wouldn't even, as a human, I wouldn't hang out there either, because rhinos are dangerous if they get in Wakanda. They have rhinos, and they mount the rhinos and use them as horses. You have to see the movie. But anyway.
What else you got?
Here's a weird one. Former nurse in Cumberland County pleads guilty to charges related to videotaping patients' child pornography.
Oh my goodness.
Now, a nurse of all the things.
That is too close to home.
You're a nurse?
No, Cumberland County.
Oh, it's West Shore. What do you expect?
You did forget where I work now, right?
Yes.
On the West
Now, if
Shore.
they just said Perry County, that would have made all
That
the
would have
sense
been
in the
normal.
Yeah, I would say that would be, yes, the norm. But it says former nurse in Cumberland County pleads guilty. I just can't imagine, like, what were you thinking? Maybe it's a guy. Maybe that would be it.
Could be a guy.
A former nurse in Cumberland County pleaded to charges to sexually assaulting 2 patients, producing and possessing child pornography, and secretly videotaping more than 200 patients. I'm thinking it might be a guy. I'm thinking
that guy in the middle.
Yeah. See, you never have a guy nurse, because guys are perverts. The office said agents also discovered that Bragg's computer contained videos and photos of patients of the UPMC Carlisle in various stages of undress. Ooh. Well, Bragg is his name, so I'm wondering if this is...
That could
doesn't
be
say. It doesn't. Why don't they talk about it? Let's see. Oh, here it is. Michael Bragg. There it is. Yep. It's a guy. These people, why can't we just have normal people doing normal things?
Well, I happen to think that is a sickness.
Yes.
That's a mental illness.
Yes. I believe that.
They're responsible, but it's a mental illness.
Well, here's one that's really sad. Colorado Springs identify the 5 people that were killed in the LGBTQ nightclub shooting, as well as 2 heroes who stopped the gunman. I don't know if you know about this or not.
Yes.
Well,
and the police said I'm pretty sure it's a hate crime.
Yes. Oh, yeah. But it's just sad that
we live in a world.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing too many shootings. I don't understand how you could hate someone that bad. Some people you don't even know. Mm-hmm. You know, I have a few people that I dislike, but I don't hate anyone. Maybe when I was younger, I hated people because I didn't understand. But to think,
I don't hate anybody enough to shoot them.
no, I don't know. There's too much hate in this world. And, okay, so we need this one. Oh, I thought I heard her walk. Did I do this already? Or did I do the
I
wrong?
dislike people that don't have common sense.
Well, maybe.
Well, see, I don't have any common sense, but that's because I'm brilliant. Brilliant people don't have common sense. So that's what I tell myself.
Yeah. Well, narcissists.
Touche.
I mean, as brilliant as I am.
Yeah, but if you call me asking, okay, what are your store's hours for Thanksgiving? And I say, we don't have any because we are closed that day, or we are not open. You don't come back and say, oh, so you're closed?
You should have said, no, we're open.
Yeah.
We're just not going to serve you.
Or
Midnight
standing...
to 12:01
No,
a.m.
we're open. Just stand at the door and knock.
Yeah, right?
And ask for me.
Or stand at our coffee station and then turn and look at me straight in the face and go, is this the only place that you have your hot coffee?
Anyway, this gunman came into Club Q. It's an LGBTQ nightclub, as well as it says here identified 5 of the people that got killed. Did the guy kill himself too? I think he killed himself.
No, because
No,
it said
they
that when he
stopped
was
him.
moved from the hospital to
Oh, they did.
jail.
Oh, that's right. He got. Yeah.
They grabbed the gun and
Yeah, they had two people stormed him to stop him from killing people. Says Raymond Green Vance, Ashley Powell, Kelly Loving, Daniel Aston, and Derek Rump were all shot and killed in the latest mass shooting. Police said 17 others were shot in the bar. Club Q, where the shooting unfolded Saturday, has been described as a sanctuary for LGBTQ people in the community. As at Monday's press conference, Colorado Springs police chief said that they identified the 5 people killed by the pronouns that they used to identify themselves and released photographs provided by their families. But the interesting thing was that Thomas James and Richard Fierro were at the club, and they charged the suspect and the who law enforcement officials had previously identified as 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich, and they stopped them from killing more people. So
I wonder what his parents taught him.
I don't know. Some of these people just have so much hate in their lives that, parents are confused sometimes because of this happening. You don't have any parents saying, that was a good job. I'm really glad that he got out there and did everything he learned. And then, you just don't hear that. I just don't understand. And I those are the weirdest killings because that means you hate people that bad that you're seeking out a specific type of person. It's one thing if you're going on a mass shooting of people just to kill people. But these are a specific type of people that they're aiming at.
I lived in a gay community for 2 years, and 99.9% of everybody I ever met just want to live their lives
Yes.
in peace and quiet.
That's the people I know too. David's gay. He's one of the nicest people, one of the greatest guys I've ever. If I were gay, I would go for him. He's just a really cool guy.
But how about this question? Who do you want to live beside you? Child molester, murderer, rapist? We can go down the list with a few more things. Or a nice gay couple that'll probably raise your property value for you and treat your kids better than you do.
The thing is, that's the whole point, is that
But
they just want to live.
But people out there would say no to that too.
See, I don't get it, because they don't hurt anybody, and in most cases, they're some of the nicest people I've known. When I was going to college, my uncle, who is a minister, rented his house out to this gay couple, and they were some of the nicest people. They were so nice to me. They were awesome. They wanted me to go to the gay club with them. I was like, well,
Don't do that, Mike. I've done that. Don't do that.
yeah, I've been there.
He'll
I've,
just have to take a detour.
But a lot of oh.
Sorry.
Good one, Bob. Good one.
It's not cool being a straight person in a gay club.
We know.
Who said I'm straight? Who said I'm straight?
Well, look at Keith beside me before.
But I mean, the thing is,
You let me drive your Tesla.
see, everybody has a price. But you know, the thing is, I've got a lot of transgender people that I know, and I know a lot of gay people, and love is love, and that's the bottom line. You've got to love everyone, and.
Well, here's my problem, Mike. When I was out in Phoenix, there were a lot of gays where I was at. And I had to go up to them and say, not all conservative pastors are jerks. Because as soon as they found out I was a pastor,
oh yeah,
we went separate.
Because that's what they're taught. That's the things that's what they learn. But you know, I didn't have any problem with David's show, other than the guy stripping all the way down to the, you know, I didn't really want to see that, but that had nothing to do with the show. I thought the show was good, and he had a diverse set of people in there, and that's, you know, I don't have a problem with anybody as long as they are a cool guy and they don't, or guy or girl, and they don't act like idiots around me, and that's straight as well as anybody else.
Our neighbor just left and just moved out, and we're wondering who's going to move in. And you know, part of me just says it would be great to have a gay couple because our property would go up, just because they moved in, because they'll take care of their house, they'll take care of their yard. People before didn't do that.
Well, I mean, I grew up.
I hate to stereotype, but that is what I found.
When I was still working, the last Halloween party, I went as Little Red Riding Hood, and the girl I was with, she went as the wolf. We turned it around because everybody. I saw a couple Little Red Riding Hoods, but none of them were me.
Yeah.
None of them were, because Little Red Riding Hood was so much bigger than
the Big Bad Wolf.
than the Big Bad Wolf. And you know, the thing is, who cares what anybody does? I don't really care, as long as nobody is keeping a kid outside that's 9 years old in a cage, or you know, or shooting at other people. I mean, that's.
I mean, if someone would go nuts and want to shoot those three people that kept their kid in a cage,
you wouldn't have a problem with that?
I would. I don't believe in shooting people, but I could see that someone could get that.
Okay, I could see that too. But the thing is, this guy killed people randomly just because he didn't like them, and he didn't like the idea of what they were doing. Not that they turn that off if you're gonna.
I'm done.
Okay, he didn't like. He didn't even know them. He just blanketly shot them, and that to me is just. I can't wrap my head around that. I just can't.
And
it took me a while.
Now, and I can't blame that on men.
Now, if you would ask me if you would ask me in the 80s and even 90s, I probably wouldn't have been as open-minded. But my friends were. That was in the 80s. My friends that were the females that my uncle rented his place to. Now, if he had known that they were gay, he probably wouldn't have rented it to them. He was a Baptist minister, so he may not have. But, you know, the bottom line is that I don't really care what anyone does in their own time as long as they're not hurting anyone. Wow. So.
And my former neighbor was gay, and
he was a really cool guy.
Yeah.
And I told you from day one, you should go over and be nice to him. Just kill him with kindness. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And so he he did the.
He reached out.
He reached out to her, and she found out he not only was a great guy, he helped straighten her house out, and did really nice things.
Did a lot of
Kylie, when she was down here that weekend, absolutely
He was a
adored him.
great guy. I liked him. He
Was
he
glued
awesome.
to his hip.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That would be kind of hard to get apart. Depends what kind of glue. But, you know, the thing is that I just hate that people just... Love is love. If people should not hate people for who they love.
Well, like you said, you know, they increased the property value. He bought his house, and when he sold it for over twice what he paid for it.
And he increased your property values by helping to fix yours up. He was really cool.
It's a shame, you know. I know what the Bible says about things, but it's just one of a long laundry list of like adultery or me overeating. It's just a long list.
See, the thing
of things, and to point them out over anybody else is just criminal.
I think that if you really want to get into the Bible thing, I'm going to get heat for this because I'm going to say it, and I'm saying it to someone that knows more about the Bible than I will ever know. The Bible was written a long, long time ago. Things change, and I think that they were written by...
That's exactly what progressive Christians believe.
Is that good or not?
It's not what I believe, but that's what they believe.
But the bottom line is, things that happened in the 60s are different from the things they are now. And laws have changed. But has the Bible ever been updated? I mean, really?
Okay, this is the thing. There are 5 verses. Let me just say this, and then we'll get off of it. There are 5 verses that talk about homosexuality.
I'm not going to win this, so I'm going into this knowing that I'm telling the honest truth of how I feel.
5 verses in Scripture. They talk about homosexuality along with a lot of other sins. It's just one of many, many things. Okay? One Scripture, you can look at it that homosexuality is worse than anything else. But if you compare that to the other 4, you can't say that. No gay is going to hell because they're gay.
Right. I believe that.
Right. So my argument is, why do we pick on them?
To take the attention off ourselves.
Why do we pick on gays and want to bash them from our pulpits? I won't do it. I've never preached against
We had this conversation before.
homosexuality, and I get in trouble with my fundamental friends. They think I'm a sellout, but I just won't do
Well,
it.
the thing is, like I said, it was written. The book was written in my eyes. It was written a long time ago. There were things. It was written by men. That in itself is a problem. It should have been written by more than men. It should have been women. Should have been written it.
Hey,
written
women
part
were
of it.
lucky they were included.
Well, that's the thing. In some countries, they still aren't.
Well, that's the nice
And-
thing about Jesus. He surrounded himself with women, strong business women that
He was
financed
smart,
his
too.
ministry. Yeah, his entourage was women also.
I would do that too.
Yeah.
For different reasons, but I would do that too.
He was not sure.
I like mine. Look at my entourage. I have.
Cheyenne, Christine.
Now, Paul said women should have their head covered.
See?
That's cultural.
Again, that's what I'm talking about. It was written a long time ago when things were a lot different than they are today. There are opinions that were written then that do not apply to now.
Are you saying
And-
it's outdated?
Well, yes, I am. Actually, I am. I am saying that.
Well,
because
you and I can have a strong argument over that one. But what I'm saying is there are cultural things in the Bible. Women in ministry is cultural.
Yes.
Paul was against that in his day.
Yes.
He had nothing to say about it now.
Absolutely.
And so my wife, we're both ordained, my wife
Yes.
and I. And we're going to this fundamental church now because the preaching is excellent. She's outstanding Bible teacher, and that's why we're there.
Fundamentalists scare me the most.
We know how to navigate that.
Yes.
Okay. I've been in that world.
My
I
uncle
know.
went to he went to freaking A, I can't think of it. The worst one of all.
Bob Jones.
Yes, that's where he went.
Okay. This church is not Bob Jones. If Baptists can be cool, this would be a cool Baptist church. Okay, so that just depends on how you look at it. But it stopped the pastor in his tracks. When I said we were with the Salvation Army for 19 years and we're both ordained, he just like stepped back.
It's interesting.
Right? Because we're Salvation Army are sellouts.
Okay.
And women in ministry is absolutely forbidden. But Patty and I don't care about that. We're comfortable in who we are, and
that's the best part, is to be able to be that way. There is a story to the detour, and I'm never ever ever gonna live it down because I'm stuck with that. Cage, which was a really good wrestler that I used to travel with, and me and her went to Atlanta for a couple days to wrestling. We were doing 5 shows in 4 days, or
5 shows in 7 days,
whatever it was. So we were going down there, and the first day we get down there, we're told to go to the place called Detour, and we found the place, and looked like a nice place from the outside. We went inside, it looked like a nice place. They were setting the ring up in the corner, so 2 sides were a wall and 2 sides were open. And I'm walking around, I'm just getting acquainted with the place, and I'm starting to notice something about the place, and just really, there were no women in the place. And I started thinking, oh my, this could be a problem. And not to me. I could care less, but I went up to Trish and I said, you know what? You're the only woman in this place.
Yep.
And she goes, really? And she looked around and she said, oh. And there were a couple guys that were really close in that place, and I said, I think we're in a gay bar. I said, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I don't know how Cage is going to do with this. So I just kept my mouth shut, and Cage comes up to me and goes, dude, I think we're in a gay bar. I said, really? Huh? What made you think that? And he said, there's no women. I said, let me go check. And I went up to the guy that booked us, and I said, Nigel, I got a question. Is this a gay bar? He said, yeah, I told you it was going to be a different venue. I said, no. A different venue would be if we were wrestling outside instead of inside, or if we were in a school rather than an auditorium, or, you know, a gay bar is really quite different from a different venue. He goes, yeah, it's a gay bar. Why? Is there a problem? I said, no, I just wanted clarification. And I went back and I said, Cage, you're right. It's a gay bar. So at the end of the night, at the end of the night, he said this was one of the best experiences he had, because everybody worked together real well, and everything was just smooth, and he was real happy that we went there. So
good.
So that's been a running joke all
yeah. So every time the word detour comes up.
So I'm gathering now from this whole conversation that you have worked a gay bar.
I have worked in a gay bar.
No, you worked a gay bar.
No, I worked in a gay bar. There was no in me.
I was just trying to.
There was no gay. There was no bar in me at all. How's that? But it was the first of many experiences in that area. We had a fun time when we were down there. So. But yeah, it will always be in my heart as a fun time, because that area was a hotbed. I shouldn't say that. Was a hotbed in wrestling, because it was Atlanta's always been.
The first law of holes: quit digging.
Oh, I'm almost in China. Why would I quit now? But it was fun, and and I got to work in. The main theater that WCW worked, and it was awesome to work in the center stage down there, and we got to work in some places we never worked before, like a gay bar, but the only one gay bar that we worked in. But it was fun. It was.
So when we go out to dinner, are we going to a gay bar?
If you want. I mean, I'd like to go to a happy place. Maybe get a happy ending if we're there. You know.
Happy ending during happy hour.
We could maybe get a happy meal.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cheyenne.
You ask for it. You ask for it. Yeah. But anyway. All right, well.
And on a quick side note.
Oh, there is one other story I do want to talk about.
Savannah Chrisley reveals that she has custody of her brother Grayson and niece Chloe after the.
There is one more, and I have to do this because of the previous article. Herschel Walker is such an idiot. He should keep his mouth shut.
What do you do now?
Get this.
I'm not following.
This is on the LGBTQ. This guy is. Why do people? If they elect, see, he wasn't elected yet, right?
No, it's too close to call.
He better not be elected because if
with that statement, what I read there, he won't be.
Because you didn't read the article, but let me tell you, this guy is he shouldn't even be allowed to talk. They should not give him a microphone because there is very few people in my findings.
Would it help you to understand that Trump supported him?
Oh. On Saturday, a 22-year-old man with a history of domestic violence killed 5 people and injured 22 others with the AR-15 at an LGBTQ nightclub. And here's what he had to say about that. Do y'all know what the definition of the enemy is? An enemy is somebody that don't like you, but they've been telling you they don't know the definition of a woman either. So think about that either. They don't know the definition of a woman, but I'm going to tell you the definition of a woman because it is written in my great book. It said a man and a woman, and there's a difference between the two of them. So the reason men shouldn't be in women's sport, here's a difference. Even just that much tells me I don't want to vote for him, just because he can't even give a sentence.
That's not the only reason.
But yeah, that's not the only reason. But then, yet they're trying to tell you a man can get pregnant. Get that out of your head. No, he can't. No, he can't. All they're trying to do is take you down in that elevator. Take you down in that elevator and lie to you. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you we're in a mess. We're in a mess because we put weak leaders in Washington. That part I agree with. Weak leaders in Washington that not representing us. I'm going to tell you this. If you don't support our military, we will have no strength. And I guarantee we'll have no peace because that is what is happening right now. They have talked about Senator Warnock, not talked about bringing pronouns into our military pronouns. What the heck is a pronoun? I can tell you right now, grenades don't know nothing about no pronouns. Bullets don't know what color your skin is, but yet they're talking about pronouns. I'm still doing push-ups and sit-ups. That is what we need to have them doing. Push-ups and sit-ups, not pronouns. This guy is freaking ridiculous. He doesn't even make sense. We're talking about a killing. He doesn't even bring into account this guy's killing people because they're gay. It has nothing to. I mean, if they elect this guy,
if this is the Republicans' party best and brightest, we are on.
That's what I'm saying. This guy's. I just can't even imagine.
You know that Trump, his people lost almost all the way across the board.
Good. If that's their thoughts, they should lose. And I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat, but I don't really like. I don't want Biden. I don't want him in. And if the answer is Trump.
Well,
it's not. I don't think it will be because I think they're going to block him no matter what Trump thinks.
Too many fat and rich Republicans are turning against Trump.
Yes, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't really like what I'm saying so far.
DeSantis and
DeSantis, I don't like either.
I have other. They're all. I like about 4 female Republicans. I like them, but they're Trump light, but they're nice about it. They don't do Twitter. They don't call names. They just present their programs, and you can just vote up and down on it.
What I'd really like is an independent. I wish there would be, but there isn't. There isn't.
Perot was the closest, and it didn't last.
Well,
Mike Trash for president.
Musk could be that.
I would love, but he can't be because he's South African.
Right.
And
but a guy like Musk.
But Perot, did you just say Perot?
Yeah, well, he was a nut.
He's an idiot.
Bush was gonna kill his daughter.
And Bush was a mistake. Both. Well, I don't know about the first Bush was a little better than the second Bush. The second Bush scared the living daylights out of me. I've never been scared before him. All of a sudden, I just had this fear of our country crumbling, and it started.
Well, he did good at 9/11 during that time. But he also got us in 2 20-year wars.
That's because he owns oil.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I guess we could leave it here. Is anybody left? I think we scared them all away. Anyway, yeah.
Well, just to finish up on Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker.
He should never have been put up.
It's embarrassing. The amount, even if
Georgia couldn't find somebody better.
That's what I think they said. Oh, look, we got a star. We can have a star in there. Oh, pick your stars carefully, because this star is a lunatic.
Ronald Reagan was an actor, wasn't he?
Ronald Reagan was a good president overall.
Oh yeah.
And
but you don't see an actor
we don't see any Ronald
president.
Reagans in the Republican Party.
No. And it scares me of what's out there. So I don't know. It's a scary proposition. So anyway, all right.
A good show, Mike.
Huh?
It was a good show.
Oh, was it?
I like.
That's because you were in it.
That's because I'm your best guest.
Yes.
That's why I only come in once every 3 months.
You can't be oversaturated then. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for listening, and boy, oh boy,
Thanksgiving.
Send all your emails to Doug at. He's our publicity guy. And
it's richwine@juno.com. That's my junk file. I never look at it.
And notice,
Cirillo number 2.
It's not poor wine. It's rich wine for a reason. He's got lots of money. He's rolling in money.
I went through high school being called poor beer.
So, all right. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I guess I get while I'm talking, I got to pull up the end and put it back in here, and we will talk to you next week. We're out of here as soon as I can get to this button right here.